Su Qingxiu. His counterattack sent the bald man flying straight into the wall, smashing it apart. Brick and stone shattered. He grunted as he collapsed, crashing to the ground. A cloud of dust billowed out. The young men nearby watched, their faces paling in shock. They could only stare, wide-eyed and speechless. Su Qingxiu calmly dusted off his robes. His expression was indifferent, his eyes half-lidded. A moment later, he walked up to the door of a trading guild and knocked gently. Inside, a young woman in a black mask heard the sound and glanced over. Seeing Su Qingxiu, she thought to herself, no mask, an unremarkable presence. Plain clothes. He doesn't look rich at all. After a moment's consideration, she approached with a pleasant smile. Are you here to buy or sell, sir? Both. The woman gestured for him to enter. Let me show you to the sales floor first. I want to see if there are any treasures worth my time. If I find something, we could discuss it further. As you wish. So, which section would you like to see? Just as she was about to recommend the high-end section, Su Qingxiu cut her off. No need. I want to see the low-tier section. The woman's eyes narrowed slightly. A scornful smirk crossed her lips. Just as I thought. Some broke loser. This area is for the bottom feeders. I'll be lucky to make a few silver pieces off him. Not long after, Su Qingxiu found himself in the guild's low-tier trading area. The decor was simple, making it easy to navigate. The woman from before was nowhere to be seen. Only a small, brightly lit room remained. Inside, a girl with long purple hair smiled welcomingly. Su Qingxiu walked over and knocked gently on the wooden door frame. She looked up. How can I help you, sir? She asked with a bright smile. How can I help you, sir? I have a few things I'd like to sell. The girl took out a pen and paper. She replied promptly. What kind of items are they? We charge a fee for gold, silver, or precious stones. Weapons and spiritual artifacts are appraised based on their condition. As for miscellaneous junk like old pots and clothes, we don't accept those here. A bead of sweat trickled down Su Qingxiu's temple. I want to sell alchemical pills. We don't accept expired pills, either. He scowled in annoyance. What do you mean, expired? I just refined these. I'm just looking to trade them for some silver. The girl gasped, startled. You're an alchemist? His clothes are so plain. Can someone so young really be such a noble figure? With that thought, she held out her hand. Please, sir, let me see the pills for appraisal. Just a moment. As he opened the box, a brilliant golden light burst forth. The fragrant aroma that filled the air made her jaw drop in utter amazement. Heavens! This is a peak-grade alchemical pill. Something like this should only be in the high-end section. What is it doing here? She sized up the situation. In an instant, she threw the door wide open and invited him in with the utmost respect. Please, sir, come in and have a seat. She delicately guided Su Qingxiu to a chair. Her movements were both gentle and graceful. A single deal like this is worth a decade of sales. If this succeeds, the reward will be immense. But this place has nothing worthy of hosting him. One wrong move, and I could ruin everything. Then a thought struck her. That's not right. This place still has me. I've heard that distinguished guests often enjoy certain pleasures. But looking at him, he probably wouldn't give me a second glance. Having made her decision, she suddenly sank to the floor, striking a seductive pose. Her cheeks flushed red. Her seductive gaze fell upon Qingxiu. Guest, though I am inexperienced, I will do my utmost to serve you. Qingxiu was momentarily flustered. A look of confusion crossed his face. What do you mean? Are you not satisfied, sir? She gently placed a hand on his chest. Her face flushed a delicate shade of red. She whispered, or perhaps you'd like to touch somewhere else? Hearing that, Qingxiu's face turned beet red. Sweat beaded on his forehead. Is she really trying to pull a stunt like this to win me over? I came here thinking she was a professional. Asterisk, I just didn't expect her to be this professional. Asterisk. It's a crime someone this talented hasn't been promoted. With that thought, he pushed her away. Ma'am, can we please just get down to business? What? Is it that you don't want to? Or that you can't? Qingxiu scowled and answered curtly. There's no need. The purple-haired woman was stunned. She mumbled. Was my service not good enough? With that, she dropped to her knees. Prostrating, she begged. Please, sir, don't give me a bad review. Qingxiu clutched his head and groaned. His expression darkened. I'm begging you, just do your actual job. She scrambled to her feet. She hastily grabbed a stack of papers and presented them to Qin Xiu. My apologies. I'll process this right away. Please sign here. Without hesitation, Qin Xiu signed. His name. The woman clutched the papers to her chest. Tears of joy welled in her eyes. This client is mine now. I'm so lucky. With that, she turned to leave. A small smile played on her lips. As she laughed, she said, "Please, wait just a moment longer." Qin Xiu watched her go. He wondered to himself, was all that really necessary? Does she have to be so dramatic? When he turned back, she had already left the room, slamming the door shut behind her. A short while later, the light from the lantern flickered out. Qin Xiu leaned back comfortably in his chair. He laced his hands behind his head. It's already been an hour, and that woman still isn't back. Just as the thought crossed his mind, a group of people entered. Their leader was a man dripping with gold and silver. He walked with a leisurely gait. Behind him trailed a number of subordinates. Most of them had their faces covered. He introduced himself as the guild president. "I presume this pill belongs to you, sir." Qin Xiu took a sip of tea. His voice was nonchalant. A guild president who doesn't even dare to state his real name? What a joke. Hearing this, the man's face paled. He fell silent, his mind racing. In a black market, everyone conceals their identity. My name, especially, must be kept secret. To be asked so directly right from the start. This young man is clearly sending a warning. Just from his spiritual sense, he knew this person was no ordinary man. He quickly cupped his hands in respect. "My name is Li Baobao, the president of this establishment. And how should I address you, sir?" Upon hearing the name, Qin Xiu spat a mouthful of tea right into the man's face. He wiped his mouth. A hulking man, with muscles bulging everywhere, is named Li Baobao. That's hilarious. Even his female subordinate let out a soft chuckle. From behind her mask, Li Baobao's face contorted with rage. His glare was enough to make them tremble. The terrified subordinates immediately dropped to their knees. They bowed their heads to the floor repeatedly. Qin Xiu watched the scene unfold and said calmly, "Why get mad at them? It's just a really unique name." He clutched his stomach, laughing so hard he started to cry, muttering and mocking under his breath. "Li Baobao, precious treasure, baby treasure, your parents must really, really love you." He couldn't hold it in any longer. He quickly wiped away his tears and cleared his throat. "All right, that's enough joking around. I want to get this done quickly. Name your price." Li Baobao raised a hand and gestured toward the door. He formally invited his guest. "Let's discuss this somewhere more private." Hearing this, Qin Xiu stood up. He leisurely followed him and the young women. After a short walk, the group entered another room. Inside, several young women were preparing tea and snacks for them. Li Baobao picked up the teapot to pour. He asked formally, "Are you certain you wish to sell these pills? They are peak grade, extremely rare. I must know their exact origin." Qin Xiu held up a hand. He replied calmly, "Don't worry. Their origin is perfectly legitimate. I just want to trade them for a large sum of spirit stones." Li Baobao's gaze was intense. His hand never stopped pouring the tea. "That's not good enough. I have to be sure these pills didn't come from a major sect. Please, be honest with me so I know how to proceed. I can ensure there will be no complications for you." Qin Xiu set his teacup down, a look of annoyance on his face. "What's all this about? I refined them with my own 2 hands, and you're still questioning me?" He was stunned. You refined them yourself? But you don't look a day over 18. Qin Xiu picked up his cup again and took a sip. "Age has nothing to do with it. If you don't believe me, bring me a cauldron. I'll prove it to you right now. Hurry up. I'm in a rush." At his words, Li Baobao clapped his hands, signaling for someone. "This is a second-grade, peak-tier cauldron. How can he be so confident? It's the newest model our merchant guild has to offer. It's worth tens of thousands of spirit stones. It can improve the quality of the pills, enhance the flames, and help control spiritual energy. Please give it a try." Qin Xiu was taken aback when he heard this. "Wait a second. You just said it can assist in pill refinement? Why are you so surprised, sir?" He fell into deep thought. "My old cauldron was like a broken spiritual tool. It just made refining pills harder. It forced me to hone my skills. After I switched to Luo Lin's cauldron, I couldn't get used to it. The quality of my pills actually dropped because of it." As he was lost in thought, Li Baobao spoke up. "Is something amiss, Master Alchemist? Is there a problem? The equipment is too good. I'm not used to it. Hearing that, a shiver went down Li Baobao's spine. He broke out in a cold sweat. He asked hurriedly, "What did you just say?" "It's nothing." Qin Xiu sprang to his feet and unleashed his wind control art. Streams of spiritual energy began to swirl and rise. A violent gale surged forth, enveloping both him and the cauldron. Li Baobao watched in horror. Wind spiritual energy. A mutated spiritual root. Even in Muzhou Prefecture, you rarely see an aberrant root. I can't believe one actually appeared. Here, in Luoling City, the medicinal herbs flew on the wind, shooting straight into the cauldron. Within the brilliant flames, the shape of a pill slowly began to take form. In just a moment, a gleaming pill flew into Qin Xiu's hand. He held it up high and asked plainly, "Do you see this?" Li Baobao was stunned. His eyes were glued to the pill. A peak first-grade pill? That means this young man is already a fourth-grade alchemist. In all of Muzhou Prefecture, you can count the number of fourth-grade alchemists on one hand. For someone so young to reach such a level, it's unbelievable. Qin Xiu waited, but Li Baobao didn't respond. So he raised his hand and spoke. "Are you done confirming it? Don't waste my time." "Right." Li Baobao quickly took a sip of tea to calm his nerves. Then he slammed his hand down on the table and began to state his price. A peak first-grade pill is valuable, though not quite as rare as a transcendent first-grade. I'll offer 500 spirit stones for each. As for the peak second-grade pills, 300 spirit stones. What do you think? This price is higher than any other trading guilds. For a person of your stature, we wouldn't dream of giving you a bad deal. After hearing the offer, Qin Xiu considered it for a moment. Then he slowly closed his eyes. More or less. It doesn't matter. Just make it quick. Hearing that, Li Baobao was shaken to his core. He truly is a great master. He doesn't even care about the price. I need a strong drink to calm my nerves in a situation like this. But he's completely unfazed. While Qin Xiu appeared calm on the outside, inside he was so excited his throat felt dry. Over 20,000 spirit stones in a single trip. I definitely won't have to worry about money for a long time. Li Baobao took out a piece of paper. He pointed to the clearly written list. 3 peak first-grade pills. 6 peak second-grade pills. For a grand total of 20,000 spirit stones. I'll go get the payment for you at once. Hold on. I also need to buy some medicinal ingredients. Please prepare them for me. Qin Xiu placed a list on the table and added, "Here it is." Li Baobao took it and looked it over. Suddenly, his eyes shot open in astonishment. He was silent for a long time. Moments later, Li Baobao's subordinates were hurrying to prepare the ingredients Qin Xiu requested. A woman approached, holding a brilliantly glowing ring. Li Baobao glanced at it and then addressed Qin Xiu. "All the ingredients you requested are ready. Unfortunately, we're currently out of sky blossom grass. However, it will be one of the prizes at the upcoming alchemy conference. With your skill, obtaining it will be child's play. Inside this storage ring, there's also an alchemy cauldron. Please consider it a small token of my respect. Is there anything else I can do for you, master?" Qin Xiu accepted the golden ring. His eyes were fixed on it. He thought to himself, this guy really knows how to sweeten a deal. Then he spoke softly. "Actually, there's one small matter that requires a bit of manpower." Li Baobao clasped his hands and smiled warmly. "Please, master, just say the word." A favor from a fourth-grade alchemist is worth more than any amount of spirit stones. Qin Xiu lightly brushed the dregs from his teacup. His tone was firm. "I'm sure you've heard of the Luo Trading Guild. A few arrogant fools from there have been making moves behind the scenes, and it has displeased me." He held the tea dregs out in front of Li Baobao, making the man shudder. "I want you to investigate that bunch thoroughly and drive them to ruin. Do what you can." Finishing his words, Qin Xiu flicked the tea dregs away. His cold eyes flashed with a sharp light. "I want them left alive to taste their own destruction, piece by piece." Hearing this, a cold sweat poured down Li Baobao's back. "Master, that is truly a difficult task. The Luo Trading Guild is no small fry. In Luolang City, many of the guilds have ties to the city lord. If I move against them rashly, my guild will be immediately crushed." Qin Xiu raised a hand, cutting him off. His voice was indifferent. "There is no difficult. There's only doing or not doing." He stepped closer. He places a hand on Li Baobao's shoulder and adds, "Forcing your hand with just a few vials of pills, that's asking a bit much." He then pulls out a green jade vial and hands it to Li Baobao. "This is your payment. Handle it, and make it clean. Li Baobao takes the vial, his hands trembling. Sir, I'm the one who runs things in Luo Ling City, after all. How can you just force my hand like this? But as he uncorks the vial, he gasps, his eyes going wide at the sight within. He's completely stunned. 2 peak, 3rd grade pills. This man isn't a 4th-rank alchemist. He's a 5th rank. Clutching the vial in his hand, Li Baobao's knees give out. It all made sense now. Why he didn't even bother to conceal his identity. It wasn't foolishness. He simply looks down on the rest of the world. Looking up at Qing Xiu, he thinks through gritted teeth. Forget Luo Ling City. No one in the entire Canglan region could touch him. This is no ordinary young man. He has to be some great master using a technique to hide his true age. When Li Baobao's attendants see him collapse to his knees, they're utterly confused. Why is the guild master so terrified? When the world could be in that vial. The moment Li Baobao looks up at them, they all scatter in a panic. With a backer like him, why would our guild need to stay confined to a place as small as Luo Ling City? Realizing this, he gets to his feet, clasps his hands, and bows deeply. Sir, the task you have entrusted to me, I will carry it out with everything I have, even if it costs me my life. I swear I will find a way to recruit that 5th-rank alchemist for you. And if you would agree, sir, I would willingly offer you my entire business. Qing Xiu gives him a sideways glance and says, Excellent. There isn't much time. I should be on my way. Oh, I forgot to properly introduce myself. Li Baobao immediately bows again, even lower this time. That's not necessary, sir. Not at all. A humble guild such as ours is unworthy of knowing your esteemed name. I will keep everything that happened today a secret. Satisfied with his answer, Qing Xiu turns to leave. He gives a dismissive wave and says, Smart man, don't see me out. A powerful figure conducting secret business in the black market. Revealing his identity would just be courting disaster. On his way out, Qing Xiu happens to run into the purple-haired girl from before. He says, Thank you for your help, Miss Black Cat. Perhaps our paths will cross again. Farewell. Once Qing Xiu is gone, Li Baobao starts muttering his own name. Li Baobao, Li Baobao. Like he's in a daze. Finally, he lowers his head with a deep sigh. Then, his expression shifts to one of pure rage. He whirls around and barks at his 2 attendants. You sent a man of his caliber to the low-tier trading floor? Are you both blind? The blonde-haired girl is so frightened she starts to cry. She thinks to herself, How was I supposed to know he was someone so important? Li Baobao glares at her furiously. Starting today, you're on reception duty for the low-tier section. Maybe that will teach you how to actually see people. He then walks over to the purple-haired girl. He bows his head. You, on the other hand, did a fine job. From this day forward, you're in charge of managing the entire guild. The purple-haired girl's jaw drops, her eyes wide with disbelief. She can't believe what she's hearing. All she can stammer is, Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Meanwhile, at Yin Qing Qiu's residence, Yin Yun and Wan Ji are standing outside his room. Only one day left, until the Luo Ling Grand Assembly. Wan Ji glances at Yin Yun, a blush creeping up her cheeks. Embarrassed. The pressure is making it impossible for me to confess. Yin Yun suddenly spoke up. Senior sister, aren't we going in? Yu Ji closed her eyes and took a deep breath. Wait, let's just wait a little longer. Inside the quiet room, Qing Xiu was focused on his alchemy. 2 young women walked in. Seeing his 2 senior sisters, Qing Xiu spread his arms in greeting. Eldest senior sister, little senior sister, long time no see. I didn't see any breakfast this morning. I figured you decided to bring it to me yourself, right? Hearing this, Yu Ji replied, I didn't make anything today. Have you gotten so used to me spoiling you, you little brat? I'm busy every single day. Where would I find the time? Hearing this, Qing Xiu stroked his chin, a sorrowful expression on his face. But you brought it every day for the past few days. Why stop now? Let me guess. He placed a hand over his heart and exclaimed, I get it now. Eldest senior sister, you don't care about me anymore. Yu Ji's face flushed bright red as sweat beaded on her forehead. You, what did I ever say I cared about you? Stop talking nonsense. Qing Qiu immediately threw himself to the floor, wailing. Eldest senior sister likes. Little senior sister. She likes Xiaoya, but she doesn't like me. It's so unfair. Yu Ji mumbled a quiet reply. That's not it. Fine. I guess I have feelings for you, too. Qin Qiu held up a finger, a triumphant grin spreading across his face. Gotcha. It's good that you finally admitted it. The moment he spoke, Yuji realized she'd fallen right into his trap. I can't believe you'd pull a trick like that. You're good. You really know how to set someone up. Qin Qiu turned his head away, putting on an innocent act. Oh, that? I just happened to read a few of those cheap street novels in my spare time. I guess I picked up a few acting tricks from the opera troupes in them. I'm still not very good at it, though. I need more practice. But sooner or later, I'll master the art of wooing women. Junior brother, today is the final day. How confident are you? Qin Qiu stood up, brushing the dust off his clothes. He said confidently, just you wait until tomorrow, senior sister. I've got a huge surprise in store for you. Yuji stepped closer and helped Qin Qiu brush off the remaining dust, making him blush in confusion. Seeing you so confident puts my mind at ease. The alchemy convention is tomorrow. Today, I want to take you out for a walk to help you relax. What do you think, junior brother? Qin Qiu was too stunned to answer. Beside them, Yun Tutin, a walk. That sounds great. Before long, the group found themselves in a bustling market. Qin Qiu ran around excitedly like a child. Meanwhile, Yin was drenched in sweat, panting heavily. Sister Yuji, I can't walk another step. Can we please find a place to rest? Yuji nodded. She said with a warm smile. All right, Luo Lin. Take her and find a tea house to rest in. I'll keep walking with our junior brother. Yes, miss. Hearing this, Yin beamed. Finally, we can get some rest. After Yin and Luo Lin left, Yuan turned around and saw Qin Qiu nibbling on a candy stick. She walked over to him. Qin Qiu immediately offered her one. Senior sister, this is really good. You should try it. The two of them then walked past another stall. This fabric is so vibrant. I want to buy it. Yuan grabbed Qin Qiu by his robes and dragged him away. She frowned. Junior brother, don't be a fool. That's for a woman's time of the month. Qin Qiu pointed to another stall and asked, Senior sister, what's that ABA Shanyu they're selling over there? I've never heard of it before. Yuan glanced over and saw it was just a stall selling oils. I'm not sure either. They walked a little further. Then they came across a stall selling melons. Here, have some melon. It'll help you forget all that nonsense. Qin Qiu took a bite of melon and held up a finger. Even the melon sellers here are this boastful? Yuan shot Qin Qiu a look and could only sigh. And with that, they left the bustling market behind, strolling hand in hand. After a while, Yuan Qi was dripping with sweat, panting heavily. Her eyes glazed over as she stared ahead. Seeing this, Qin Qiu quietly helped his senior sister sit down on a bench and said gently, Senior sister, you should rest for a bit. Yuan Qi frowned, wilting in the sweltering heat, fanning herself relentlessly. Junior brother, how long has it been since you've been out for a stroll? You're so curious about everything. It's wearing me out. It's so hot. My clothes are soaked through. At her words, Qin Qiu clasped his hands together, closed his eyes, and said, Hee hee. My apologies, senior sister. Sorry to have troubled you. He then channeled the spiritual energy from his chest, right before her, creating a cool breeze that washed over Yuan Qi. Qin Qiu opened his eyes and asked with a smile, Feeling better now? If not, I'll make a flower for you, senior sister. Yuan Qi took the flower, praising him with a smile. You're quite clever, junior brother. I've never seen anyone use their spiritual arts like this before. Qin Qiu scratched his head, his hand resting on the back of his neck, and said, To be honest, I just thought of it. This is the first time I've ever done it for someone else. But for you, senior sister, it's worth it. Then he made an ice pop for himself, too, and popped it into his mouth. He winced. It wasn't sweet at all. Yuan gazed at the flower and asked with a soft smile, The first time doing it for someone else? Really? As they were talking, someone suddenly approached them. A shopkeeper appeared, holding out a box, and greeted them cheerfully. Haha, honored guests. My shop just received a new shipment of jewelry. Would the two of you care to take a look? Cultivators like them are rare customers. I can't let this opportunity slip by. Hearing this, Qin Qiu immediately asked, Do you have any hairpins? I just realized I haven't bothered to accessorize at all since I woke up. The shopkeeper quickly presented a box of jade hairpins. Of course we do. We have all kinds of styles. This new design is especially popular. Wear this, and you'll be the talk of your sect. The moment he finished speaking, Yuan Qi glanced over. Shopkeeper, your curse is all wrong. She looked down at the flower in her hand. Clearly, even without wearing this, my junior disciple is already a peerless talent. Hearing this, the shopkeeper forced a smile. He wiped his brow. Right. But a hairpin would only add to his charm. All right, I misspoke. 70 off. The shopkeeper had barely finished his sentence when Yuan Ji, astonished, exclaimed, 70 off? That's practically selling at a loss. Juan pressed on. Then how about just 60? No, I can't. I'd still be losing money. She furrowed her brow. Irritated. Then just 30. That should be acceptable. The shopkeeper lowered his head. He thought to himself, 30 off compared to 60. It's still better than 70. All right, I'll take 30 off the price. Yuan Ji immediately smiled and reached out to pick a hairpin. Thank you. Let me help my junior disciple pick a truly beautiful one. Wait a minute. That's not right. Was I just tricked? Which one should I choose to match him? She meticulously examined them. Yuan Ji chose an emerald green hairpin identical to one she had seen before. She took it and waved Qing Qiu closer. Qing Qiu, come try this one. The shopkeeper was on the verge of tears. Esteemed customer, you truly have discerning taste. This is a Zeton wood hairpin. It carries a fragrance that wards off evil and clears the mind. It's the most precious item I have left. Oh, I've practically given it away at that price. In the tranquil surroundings, Qing Qiu sat still, allowing Yuan Ji to comb his hair. When the hairpin was fastened into Qing Qiu's hair, he turned his face. His handsome features became even more striking. The old shopkeeper raised a finger, forcing a tearful smile. Little brother, you are true to have such a beautiful and virtuous cultivation partner. You make everyone jealous. Juan's face flushed upon hearing this. She stammered. Shopkeeper, please don't joke. We're not cultivation partners. The old shopkeeper chuckled. Oh, aren't you? The young lady was just so attentively caring, as if for her beloved. How can you say you're not? Qing Qiu furrowed his brow, replying with irritation. What kind of joke is this? We're just fellow disciples, a junior brother and a senior sister. Juan handed Qing Qiu a mirror. Well, no, never mind. Junior disciple, what do you think? Qing Qiu admired himself in the mirror. He smiled pleased, as if he had become someone else. He turned to look at Yuan Ji and gave a friendly smile. Thank you, senior sister. Juan, resolutely. Then we'll buy this one. Senior sister, wait a moment. Qing Qiu looked at the hairpin box and smiled. Senior sister gifted me one. I also want to gift you one in return. He picked a red, flower-shaped hairpin and offered it to her. This made her blush. This one suits you perfectly. Let me try fastening it for you, senior sister. When she looked in the mirror, she frowned. Junior disciple, are you playing trick on me? It's hideously ugly. Qing Qiu flinched. No. It looks beautiful on you, senior sister. A shadow crosses Yuan Ji's face. She bursts out laughing. Oh, really? I think this would suit you too, junior brother. Here, you try it. Qing Qiu is startled. He quickly dodges. A man can't wear a flower hairpin. Yuan Ji takes out the plum blossom hairpin. She gives him a mischievous smile. Let me see. She closes the distance in an instant. She gets Qing Qiu in a playful headlock and sticks the pin in his hair, leaving him completely flustered. Stop it. Lu Zhonggue watches the scene unfold. He worries to himself. If these two keep this up, they won't be just senior sister and junior brother for long. After putting the pin in his hair, Yuan Ji isn't done yet. She takes out a compact of rouge. How adorable. You look like a little girl, junior brother. Let me just add a finishing touch. Faced with her antics, Qing Qiu can only stand there helplessly. Well, it's rare to see senior sister this happy. I'll just let her have her fun. Yuan Ji holds a mirror up to Qing Qiu's face and asks, So, still think you can tease your senior sister? His cheeks are flushed pink. He scrunches his face and replies, You're clearly the one teasing me, senior sister. If you don't like it, you could draw all over my face in return. Go on. How about it? Senior sister, you're so beautiful. I wouldn't dare. Hearing this, Yuan Ji blushes. She's flustered. Junior brother, do you really think I'm beautiful? Qing Qiu removes the hairpin and wipes the rouge from his face. He answers sincerely. Of course. I mean it. This hairpin really suits you. If you don't like it, senior sister, then never mind. He pays the old shopkeeper a happy smile on his face. The night market is starting soon. Senior sister. Let's go for a walk with the others. Yuan-ji takes the flower hairpin down. She tells the owner to wrap it up. The old shopkeeper's eyes light up. Another sale. Right away, esteemed customer. However, she holds up 2 fingers. I'll only buy it if you take 80% off. Whoa now, don't drive such a hard bargain. My beautiful young lady. After leaving the shop, Qin Xiao and Yuan Yunyan calls out cheerfully. Yuan Jia, Xiao Qiao. Over here, she walks over to Qin Xiao and asks bluntly, Xiao Qiao, you look different today. You're practically glowing. Qin Xiao laughs. Haha, you think so? It's all thanks to eldest senior sister's makeover. Hearing this, Luo Lin is astonished. Her eyes go wide. The young miss. Did someone's hair herself? That's unbelievable. The eldest miss usually avoids all contact with men, but now she's personally fussing over him. This is special treatment that not even the old master received before he fell ill. As the thought crosses her mind, Luo Lin claps her hands together in realization. A suspicious look on her face. Could it be the eldest miss is falling in love? Just then, Yuan Ji glances over, causing her to whip her head away in a panic. The streets are flooded with the brilliant, colorful light of lanterns. Yuan Ji points ahead and says cheerfully, that's the Merchant Guild's tower over there. The food here is something else. I wasn't planning on bringing you here, junior brother. But since we're all here, she turned to ask Qin Xiao. So, junior brother, which house takes your fancy? Before Qin Xiao could even answer, Yin Yin eagerly jumped in. Qin Xiao definitely wants to go to that one. He hasn't stopped staring at it. Nearby was a house where many beautiful young women were calling out to customers. Qin Xiao's face flushed red. His eyes went wide. He blurted out a denial, clenching his fists and shouting, Senior sister, don't say such ridiculous things. I was not looking over there. A woman in a pink dress, with a sensual figure, called out in a seductive voice. Hey there, handsome. You've been staring for a while now. Why don't you come inside and have a little fun? Hearing this, Qin Xiao threw up a hand to stop her. He was blunt. Not interested. I'm weak and I'm broke. How could I possibly enjoy myself? Oh, so that's how it is. Turns out you're just some broke loser. Behind them, Yuan Ji and Luo Lin watched in silence, saying nothing. Yun Yun's eyes widened as she stared at Qin Xiao in astonishment. Huh? So what does fun mean exactly? I'm feeling a little tired myself. I'd like to try some. Qin Xiao frantically, his voice filled with panic. Senior sister, please don't. He looked up, only to see Yuan Ji frowning, her anger clear as day. Eldest sister, what's wrong? Just then, from inside the establishment, 2 disheveled men walked out, snickering. Be sure to come back again, gentlemen. They sauntered off. Yuan Ji's face immediately darkened. A wave of killing intent flared from her. The alchemist who betrayed our merchants' guild, Lu Zhao, and with him, the head of the Shunkai guild that always opposes us, Qian Yongfu. Lu Zhao squinted, a sinister smile playing on his lips. He pointed. Haha. Well, if it isn't the esteemed Miss Luo. Long time no see. How is the old master doing? Luo Lin stepped forward to shield Yuan Ji, cursing angrily. Lu Zhao, you bastard. The guild took care of you for 15 years, and you repay that kindness with betrayal? Qian Yongfu stepped forward, raising a hand with a sneer. Now, steward. Let's not be like that. A wise bird knows which branch to perch on. The Luo Merchant Guild is a sinking ship. Why shouldn't a man be allowed to leave? Right? Miss Luo. Hearing this, Luo Lin clenched his fists and roared. You already left, so get the hell out of our sight. Her face was filled with indignation as she shouted, don't be so quick to laugh. We have a much more powerful alchemist now. Just you wait. You'll be utterly humiliated at the grand assembly. Lu Zhao let out a sinister laugh. A more powerful alchemist, you say? He pointed at Qin Xiao. You mean this kid? That's right. We don't need the likes of you anymore. He looked Qin Xiao over, his expression skeptical. His hands were fair and smooth, with none of the calluses that come from refining pills. He gave a contemptuous smirk. What a joke. You think this punk can replace me? How interesting. He then raised a hand and shouted. Are you all really going to let someone like him compete? Miss Luo, you're really lowering your standards. Yuanji didn't bother to answer. She just turned her head away. A cold, dismissive snub. Just as she was about to leave, Qian Yongfu spread his arms to block her path. He sneered. In such a hurry, Miss Luo? Leaving so soon after we've just met? He yelled to the crowd. Everyone look here. This is the alchemist she invited. She wants to compete in the assembly with a complete nobody. Isn't that hilarious? A murmur went through the crowd. Whispers began to spread. Is that kid really an alchemist? I've never seen him in Luolang City before. He's not even dressed like one, and I can't sense any spiritual energy from him. I heard the old master is gravely ill, and that Lu Zhao left them for the Shanghai Guild. Looks like the rumors were true. Lu Zhao stepped closer. He clasped his hands behind his back, shaking his head. Miss Luo, did you really refuse to marry me just to rely on this? How utterly ridiculous. You might as well just wait for your old man to die. Qian Yongfu crossed his arms, surveying the crowd. But there's still a chance for you. All you have to do is marry Master Lu. Our merchant guild will give you our full support. Wouldn't that be for the best? He asked the crowd. What does everyone else think? The young men in the audience immediately started shouting. Don't be so stubborn, beautiful Miss Luo. Just marry him. What does a woman know about running a business anyway? If your alchemy guild has no real talent, then stop wasting our time. Go home and take care of your father. Yuanji looked around at the faces in the crowd. All she saw were their gazes, filled with contempt, and all she heard were their mocking words. The Luo Merchant Guild. Had it really fallen so low that it could be bullied by anyone, just as she was feeling cornered? Qing Qiu stepped forward. He said gently, Senior sister, I'm here. Don't worry. Hearing his voice, Yuanji felt a wave of relief wash over her. She quickly wiped her tears away. Having someone to lean on at a time like this meant the world. Qing Qiu took her hand. He turned to face the crowd. All of your days are numbered. The black market must have already made its move. Yuanji only squeezed his hand tighter. Seeing the two of them together, Lu Zhao's heart burned with jealousy. Damn it. She always kept her distance from men. Asterisk, so why is she holding his hand now? Asterisk. Qing Qiu held Yuanji's hand firmly. He stood tall and declared, anyone who wants to mock us should get lost now. Otherwise, when this is all over, it'll be too late for begging. He raised a hand to the crowd, a gesture of pure defiance. First place in the Alchemy Grand Tournament will belong to the Luo Clan Merchant Guild. Starting tomorrow, our name will echo throughout all of Mu Prefecture. With that said, Qing Qiu's expression grew cold. As for me, I want to see every last one of you on your knees, begging. The faces of the young men in the crowd darkened. Oomph. What did that little punk just say? How is he even more arrogant than we are? Lu Zhao roared, his eyes bulging with rage. You're a complete nobody. How dare you act so insolent in front of me? Qing Qiu nonchalantly cleaned out his ear with his pinky. He smirked. So what if I am? You're the little brat here, Lu Zhao. Hearing this, Lu Zhao flew into a rage, as if his tail had been stepped on. He roared. You dare call me a kid? Qing Qiu lifted his chin. A faint smile played on his lips. What? Can your grandpa call you grandson? Lu Zhao's face turned pale. He bellowed. You little demon. How dare you imitate this old man's way of speaking? Qing Qiu glanced at him. His right hand gestured lightly. I taught you how to talk, and now you dare to copy me? After all, you're just a lackey I had someone raise. Lu Zhao was practically insane with fury. The hair on his neck stood on end. He screamed, You insolent bastard. Your dad is my old man. Qing Qiu remained perfectly composed. His smile was radiant. He said arrogantly, And that's why I refuse to acknowledge a foolish son like you. Just as Lu Zhao was about to attack, Qin Yongfu cut in. So the Luo Clan Chamber of Commerce is looking for an alchemist, and all they could find was a loudmouth? Miss Luo really is a terrible judge of character. Lu Zhao clenched his fists. He roared, That's right. What does this brat know about alchemy? Why would that woman trust him? At the competition tomorrow, I'll toy with him until he's dead. If I lose, I'll eat shit. Qing Qiu replied with a calm smile. Of course. You must have gotten a taste for it as a kid, since you're so eager to eat again. You're truly depraved. Those words made Lu Zhao tremble from head to toe. He was so furious his insides were twisting into knots. He howled and charged forward. All of you together. Kill him for me. But when he turned back, he saw his subordinates standing frozen like statues. Qin Yongfu's eyes narrowed. He yelled, What are you all waiting for? Get him. Yes, sir. The henchmen finally swarmed in. Qin Yongfu stood back. a smug grin on his face. The Luo clan Chamber of Commerce is already failing. What's there to be afraid of? He's just a kid. Yuji immediately drew her jade flute, pouring her spiritual power into it. But Qing Qiu raised a hand to stop her. Senior sister. There's no need. He focused spiritual energy into his arm and said calmly, leave this to me. With that, Qing Qiu shot forward. He slammed his fist into a henchman's face. A single punch sent the man flying straight onto the roof. Qing Qiu turned back. His eyes glowed a fiery red, radiating pure, killing intent. Qian Yongfu and Lu Zhao stared wide-eyed. Sweat dripped down their faces. How? How can this guy be so brutal? Qing Qiu descended upon them like a storm and took down Qian Yongfu in an instant. Lu Zhao spun around, gritting his teeth, his eyes bulging. You bastard! Qing Qiu pivoted and grabbed him by the throat. The man's eyes widened in panic. What do you think you're doing? Let me go. Qing Qiu's brow furrowed. His voice dripped with contempt. Someone like you dares to insult my senior sister? Yuji stepped forward, worried. Junior brother, we're in Luolang City. Don't be reckless. Don't lose your temper. Qing Qiu tightened his grip around Lu Zhao's neck, lifting him clean off the ground. He said coldly, I ought to just toss you both out of here. But you're an alchemist. Then he let go, dropping him to the ground. It'd be a waste. Not to teach you a lesson. Lu Zhao slams onto the ground. A cloud of dust billows up. Qing Qiu closes his eyes and turns his back. I'll see you tomorrow at the alchemy tournament. With that, he and his men depart. Lu Zhao struggles to sit up, his face a mask of pain. He lets out a pain grunt. The next morning, at the alchemy tournament hall, a massive crowd of thousands is gathered to watch. All eyes are fixed on the alchemists. Qing Qiu makes his way through the throng of people. Beads of sweat form on his brow. As he walks, he calls out, Excuse me, coming through. A man nearby scoffs and waves a dismissive hand. Is the Luo Merchant Guild that desperate? Sending some kid just to fill their roster. Hearing this, Qing Qiu's temper flares. He clenches his fist. Instantly, the water in a nearby decorative pond begins to surge. The man's eyes go wide. In terror, in a flash, the crowd parts, clearing a path for Qing Qiu. He closes his eyes and sighs. Why does everyone always have to mess with me? A moment later, Qing Qiu enters the main hall for the tournament. He stands beside Luo Lin. He asks the steward, Where are my two senior sisters? Why aren't they here yet? Luo Lin scratches her cheek, offering an awkward smile. Your younger senior sister, well, she got a little too excited and ripped her clothes. So, she had to go change. As for your older senior sister, she knows how much you love sweets. So, she went to prepare a whole mountain of them for you. Hearing this, Qing Qiu turns to look at the table. Saying nothing, Luo Lin's eyes soften. She bows her head and chuckles. The young miss stayed up very late last night. I'm afraid she'll be a little late. With that said, she stares intently at Qing Qiu. The young miss has never treated any man like this before. Master Qing Qiu, would you care to reconsider? Qing Qiu's gaze remains fixed on the pastry in his hand. He mumbles to himself. Reconsider? I've already made my choice. Luo Lin covers her mouth with her hand, a smile spreading across her face. So, what have you decided? Are they really going to get together? I can hear the wedding bells already. Qing Qiu clenches his fist and raises his head high. He declares frankly, I have to have them. Sweets this good are for me and me alone to enjoy. I'd be furious if anyone else even touched them. At his words, Luo Lin's smile vanishes. She shoots him an annoyed look and lets out a soft oomph. Just then, Wang Ji approaches. She chides, Luo Lin, watch your tongue. Hearing the familiar voice, the girl whips her head around. A look of panic crosses her face. Why, young miss? At that moment, Wang Ji appears, clad in a stunning, fiery red dress. She looks both alluring and powerful. Qing Qiu sees her and can't hide his surprise. His eyes widen. The gentle, intelligent woman from before has transformed into a proud, sophisticated lady. So mature. Standing behind them, Luo Lin's gaze is glued to Qing Qiu and Wang Ji. A cold sweat breaks out on her back. The young miss has never dressed like this before. When the world is happening, Wang Ji gracefully sits down at the table. Resting her chin on her hand, she glances over and asks, So how are the pastries? Ching Xiu stared, completely mesmerized. A blush crept up his face. Wow, those legs. They're making me tremble. With that, he turned his head away, grinning like a total idiot. Seeing this, Yuan Ji couldn't help but ask, what are you grinning so foolishly about? It's nothing. Ching Xiu quickly shook his head. He pointed. It's just that your outfit today, senior sister. Before he could finish, Yuan Ji cut in. Is it strange? You remember it, don't you, junior brother? I picked it specifically to match the hairpin I chose yesterday. It took me a lot of effort to find the right one. Hearing this, Ching Xiu lowered his head, his eyes fixed on the pastry. His mind was reeling. Senior sister, was late all because of a single hairpin? Yuan Ji placed a hand on her chest. She looked at Ching Xiu, worried. Junior brother, why are you making that face? Does it look bad? This is my first time wearing a style like this. Ching Xiu quickly waved his hands. No. You look beautiful, senior sister. This red dress is for good luck. You wore it hoping I'd be able to show my full talent. And, since you've done this for me, there's no way I'll let you down. After speaking, Ching Xiu thumped his chest a few times. A show of his resolve. Don't you worry, senior sister. Just wait for the good show. Yuan Ji watched him, her cheeks growing even redder. Her gaze softened as she looked at Ching Xiu. Then, she covered her mouth and let out a small laugh. For a promise like this, I'll be waiting for your return. Outside in main hall, the alchemists were focused, staring intently at their notes. Suddenly, one young man caught a glimpse of something, his face filled with horror. Meanwhile, Yuan Ji sat beside Ching Xiu, feeding him pastries. Seeing this, another young man was enraged. He crushed the teacup in his hand. He roared, Who the hell is that brat? I want a goddess by my side, too. At the same time, Lu Zhao stood amidst the crowd. His face was dark. His entire body trembled with rage. He gritted his teeth. Why? Just why? I've been at the Luo Trading Guild for years, and Luo Yuanji never gave me a second glance. But this punk shows up and gets it all? Just wait until the competition starts. I'll humiliate him. The announcer looked up, receiving a signal from someone. He then turned to the crowd with a bright smile and announced loudly, The Alchemy Grand Assembly is about to begin. Will all competing alchemists please take your positions? Hearing that, Ching Xiu shot to his feet, crumbs still clinging to the corner of his mouth. Senior sister, wait for news of my victory. Just as he was about to leave, Yuan Ji grabbed his hand. Junior brother, wait a moment. She used her pink handkerchief to gently wipe the crumbs from his cheek. Then she said softly, There, you can go now. I'm looking forward to your performance. Ching Xiu squeezed Yuan Ji's hand. He smiled gently. I'll say it again. I'm going to make a public spectacle of him. Let everyone see the prize for testing my patience. With that, he turned and walked away, waving back over his shoulder. Senior sister, watch their faces in a little bit. It's going to be priceless. As Ching Xiu walked away, Yuan Ji strokes her chin. A small smile plays on her lips. That, what's in that bundle? Yin Yin looks over. Her eyes widen. That must be Xiao Qiu's stuff. I heard he keeps a few books around to help him stay calm. She points to the books in Yuan Ji's hands. He's so secretive about them. Never lets anyone borrow them, right? Yuan Ji pulls out a book. The moment she opens it, she sees the title, Kissing Senior Sister. Yin Yin steps closer. Her face lights up. Let's read them together. We can each take one. But a moment later, both of them are blushing beet red. They hurriedly put the books away. Outside the tournament hall, the crowd roars endlessly. Go Tai, you're shining today. When you win first place, don't forget to put on a show for us. Shut up. Our Lu Zhuang is the real star here. Amidst the deafening cheers, Ching Xiu just smirks disdainfully. He plugs his ear with his pinky. Just as he's about to walk away, Lu Zhao blocks his path. You pathetic little brat. You were pretty quick to run away last night, weren't you? He glares at Ching Xiu. His voice is thick with menace. After this tournament is over, your life and the Luo Shi Trading Guild are finished. Two other alchemists overhear and scowl in anger. That's him, the arrogant bastard who said he'd take first place. What a joke. He doesn't even have the proper robes. And he dares to stand on the same stage as us. It's even more annoying seeing our goddess so close to him, faced with their mockery. Ching Xiu remains completely unfazed. Suddenly, he notices something. His gaze shifts to the side. It's Yuan Ji, standing in the audience. Ching Xiu immediately sends her a glowing red heart. Though flustered, Wan Ji still smiles and returns a heart of her own. The men in the crowd see this, and they explode with rage. Hey you, that's my wife. She's my wife. Qingqiu looks at them, a smirk on his face. HM, you want to have a staring contest? Fine. Let's see who's more ruthless. But senior sister is acting a little strange. What's with that shy blush? I don't get it. He then pokes his own cheek with a finger, lost in thought. Strange. I feel like I've forgotten something important. In a private room down the hall, a man holding a long pipe chuckles slyly. Gentlemen, who's your pick for this year's champion? A portly shopkeeper, holding a teacup, speaks up. In my opinion, the strongest contender is still the second-rank alchemist, Ma Fei. He's dedicated his life to his research. He even recently perfected the high-grade second-rank expulsion pill. His power must have grown immensely. Hearing this, the man with the pipe offers his praise. Ah, Defu, you're always so direct. Ma Fei is indeed our academy's ace. A young man in blue robes, next to Li Baobao, interjects. Ma Fei is strong, but he's not unbeatable. There's a new expert from outside the city, Lu Zhuang. He's no ordinary talent. A bearded old man glances at Defu and says, and don't forget about Tai. I hear he reached the second rank right after joining the sect. His talent is monstrous. Hearing this, the man with the pipe's face darkens. Baozi, the black market is always the first to know everything. You must have gathered quite a bit of information. So, who's the favorite to win it all? Li Baobao flinched. He looked around, then pointed to himself. Are you asking me? He took a sip of his tea. He thought to himself, that master helped the Luo Merchant Guild, and he's so close with Lady Luo Sha. It must be for love. Thinking of this, Li Baobao smiled and began to speak. Have any of you been paying attention to the person from the Luo Merchant Guild? The man holding the rustic pipe stiffened. The Luo Merchant Guild? Li Baobao, are you talking about Lu Zhao? Oh, right. I almost forgot about him. I heard he tried to marry Yuan Ji, but she rejected him, and he just up and left. Hearing this, Li Baobao chuckled to himself. Lu Zhao, as if he's worthy. Just wait. He'll soon find out what true humiliation is. With that thought, Li Baobao slammed his teacup onto the table. Time. Gentlemen, I was referring to the new alchemist, Yin Qingqiu. Hearing this, Defu and the two elders stared with wide eyes. They asked in unison, Yin Qingqiu? Then, all three of them burst into laughter. They were howling, splitting their sides with laughter. I didn't know Guildmaster Li Baobao could tell a joke. Him? Is he even worthy? Ha! That's rich. Tian Yongfu, the man whose nose Yin Qingqiu had broken, muttered resentfully. When it comes to brawling, I'll admit he's decent. But as for alchemy, he's not even worthy of carrying Lu Zhao's shoes. He dared to ambush my men last night. I let it go because he's still a participant in this conference. That was out of respect for the city lord. But once this conference is over, I'll deal with him myself. I wonder what the city lord thinks of that. The city lord gave a faint, cold smile. Ha! Do as you see fit. Tian Yongfu raised his teacup. He stood up, a smug smile on his face. Gentlemen, the Luo Merchant Guild is on its last legs. And I fear that old man of theirs won't last much longer either. I hope we can all share in this delicious prize. The two elders began to chatter excitedly. Huh, it seems the heavens themselves wish for the Luo Merchant Guild's destruction. Dividing up their assets will be simple. But as for their young lady, what should we do with her? Li Baobao, standing nearby, shot them a sidelong glance. He thought, that master's plan is already in motion. I must seize this opportunity to win the city lord's favor. These fools won't be around for much longer. Let them laugh. They'll see soon enough. Those self-proclaimed geniuses are about to be so thoroughly crushed, they'll start questioning their very existence. I just wonder if, after everything is said and done, that master might grant me some kind of connection. If I can latch onto someone that powerful, any sacrifice will be worth it. On the competition stage, the air was electric, filled with the sound of music. It echoed powerfully. Fireworks exploded, lighting up the entire sky. The host stepped onto the stage, a scroll in his hand. His voice was solemn. The Grand Alchemy Tournament has officially begun. Will the alchemists please take their positions? First up, we have Lu Zhuang, the man widely expected to win it all today. Next, he introduced, our next contestant is Tai Tai. The moment his name was called, the audience erupted. Tai Tai. Tai Tai. He's got the skill and the looks. Not only is he a master alchemist, but his good looks are the envy of all. The host maintained a stern expression. A deep voice announced, the final contestant, representing the Luo City Merchant Guild, Yin Qingxiu. Even as his name echoed through the hall, Qingxiu let out a long yawn. He looked completely bored, not a care in the world. The young men in the crowd below began to whisper, scoffing. Some nobody dares to claim he'll win first place? The nerve! They thought Qingxiu was looking down on the Luo Lang City Grand Tournament, ignoring their ridicule. Qingxiu's gaze swept over the crowd until he saw Wanji watching him. She placed a hand over her heart and smiled, thinking to herself, in my heart, you will always be number one. Qingxiu playfully made a silly gesture back at Wanji. The young men below saw this and flew into a rage. Damn lunatics! One of them muttered. All our roaring and cheering can't compare to a single gesture from that goddess. Qingxiu just chuckled at their reactions. Why bother getting so worked up? I just gave him show, and they're still not satisfied? The host was sweating profusely. Next up, all contestants, please come forward to draw your lots. According to the rules, whoever draws number one will be the first king of the hill. The other contestants will then, in order, challenge them. The winner takes the king's seat. Let's see who is lucky enough to draw number one. Lu Zhao stood in the back, his eyes glinting maliciously. A smirk played on his lips. I've already bribed the staff. That brat is guaranteed to draw number one. And I'll be number two. So, Wanji puts all her faith in him, huh? I'll humiliate him right in front of her. Qingxiu opened his slip of paper. His expression changed instantly. So someone did rig this. But even so, I'll still take first place. Perfect. You all better get ready to be crushed. An assistant wrote Qingxiu's name on the board. Lu Zhao was startled when he saw it. That kid really drew number one. And as tradition dictates, the lower the number, the harder the fight. He fell right into my trap. Wanji slammed her hand on the table in anger. Her face darkened. She thought, grinding her teeth. Over 100 alchemists. And he's the one who draws number one? How could that possibly be a coincidence? Behind her, Luo Lin was also furious. He clenched his fists. Young miss, someone is clearly pulling strings. Why would they deliberately make us draw number one? Yin Yun's eyes went wide. A bead of sweat trickled down her face. The first contestant is under the most pressure. The young miss's pill formula will be revealed. It'll be easy for the next person to prepare a more complex pill to counter it. Hearing this, Luo Lin grew anxious. Those bastards, their methods are so vicious. Young miss, this is... Wanji stared intently at Qingxiu. She was silent for a long moment. Then, her expression softened, and she said calmly, I have faith in him. Qingxiu glanced at the jeering crowd. He thought to himself, do they really think I'm that weak? He stood under their scrutinizing gaze, thinking, just because I'm young and don't have a reputation, I'm nothing in their eyes. At that thought, he slowly closed his eyes. A smile touched his lips. These simple-minded fools are about to learn a lesson. With that decided, Qingxiu strode confidently onto the stage. Right now, I'm going to show them exactly who I am. A bald man glared from the crowd. His face was twisted with resentment. He ground his teeth. This guy's hair is as thick as weeds. He's definitely not a proper alchemist. Exactly. Alchemists constantly deal with intense heat. Their hair would be singed off, yet his hair is so lush and green. It's so fake. The crowd below roared in unison. Refine it already and get out. This isn't a sideshow. It's an alchemy competition. Qingxiu stepped onto the stage. He immediately channeled his spiritual energy, summoning his alchemy cauldron. An old, dilapidated cauldron appeared. Thick dust and smoke billowed up. The crowd below erupted in boisterous laughter. What's he up to? Is he seriously bringing a pickle jar to the competition? As expected, he's just here to make a fool of everyone. Haha. Turns out he's here to sabotage the Luosher Merchant Association. Li Baobao crossed his arms, with his eyes closed, in a haughty stance. Keep on laughing. You won't be laughing much longer. Qingxiu looked at the medicinal ingredients on the table. These are all low-grade, supplementary herbs. The main ingredients, however, are provided by the alchemists and investing parties themselves. There are many participants. The failure rate is high. If they were given out for free, the organizers would face huge losses. That's why only these types are supplied. Qingxiu channeled his spiritual energy picking out the required herbs. Then, with a gentle flick of his hand, he merged them. He clenched his fist. The various herbs, immediately, flew into the cauldron. One stood below. Seeing this, she broke out in a cold sweat. Long secretly trembled. What in the world is he doing? The young man in blue rubbed his chin. His eyes, dark with thought, fixed straight ahead. How perplexing. Condensing light grass and spirit dew leaves, they're all precious spiritual herbs. Is this brat trying to concoct high-grade elixirs? Throwing them into a stew pot would make more sense than this. How is that even possible? The young man in green glanced at the person next to him. A mocking smile plastered on his face. Brother Mafe, what's your take on this, brother? What else is there to think about? I'm still debating whether he's actually an idiot. That cauldron's practically ruined. Let's just sit back and watch. Long Chi-Yuan stood behind him, his lips subtly curving into a sneer. His gaze, full of contempt, was fixed on Qingqiu. Qingqiu started the alchemy process, his expression serious. This old, broken cauldron was a discard I intentionally bought from the black market. It will restrict the quality of the resulting pills. No high-grade elixirs could possibly emerge from it. As it underwent refining, inside the cauldron, a pill, glowing with brilliant light, gradually formed. An old alchemist, seated behind Qingqiu, observed the sight and thought to himself, condensing light grass is inherently fragile. Just a slight increase in heat would destroy the essence light within it. It's truly rare to see such intense light. This proves his fire control is exceptionally refined. Yet this glow is too dazzling. Even seasoned alchemists would struggle to achieve this. Inside the cauldron, flames blazed. Spiritual energy surged and converged in waves. The spectators all gritted their teeth, their brows furrowed in unease. This skill is truly frightening. The medicinal liquid inside was perfectly clear, without a single impurity. Qingqiu raised his hand, focusing intently, gently controlling the flames and channeling his spiritual energy. The elder alchemist, witnessing the sight, couldn't help but exclaim in awe. This is no longer alchemy. It's like watching an exquisite painting come to life. Ma Fei, however, was enraged, gritting his teeth audibly, muttering curses to himself. This bizarre technique, it even surpasses many renowned masters who've been famous for years in Luolang City. He shifted his gaze. He said with a smug smile, "Well, everything going smoothly with the refining?" Yunyun stared intently at the cauldron. She couldn't believe her eyes. Qingqiu is truly powerful. He's already on par with a third-stage alchemist. Even beyond that, how is this possible? He just started cultivating. I can't believe it. Yuanji excitedly placed her hands on Yunyun's shoulders and shook her vigorously. Yunyun, that was amazing. But she was shaken so hard that her clothes tore. Blushing with embarrassment, she quickly turned away, covering her chest with her hands. Yuanji immediately turned and ordered Luo Lin. "Butler, go get a needle and thread, quickly." "Yes, ma'am. But my lady..." I was still watching the second round. Luo Lin started to turn, but suddenly stopped, his eyes glued to the strange light emanating from the alchemy cauldron. A moment later, a purple pill slowly floated out, causing a stir among the crowd below. A purple core pill, peak second-grade quality. For treating injuries? It doesn't look like a condensing blood pill. Those spirit herbs were clearly for refining a high-grade, second-tier condensing blood pill. But a purple core pill came out instead. Lu Zhang's face darkened. He smirked. A purple core pill is just a low-grade, second-tier pill. It's barely more difficult to make than a first-grade one. He glanced at Qingqiu, who was focused on the pill. All that effort just to make a piece of trash? A scrawny guy standing next to him sneered. I waited half a day just to see this? What a pointless show. Qingqiu held the pill steady. With one hand. With the other, he formed a seal over his chest. Then, he raised 2 fingers towards the sky. Instantly, a red pill flew out of the cauldron. An alchemist in a green robe stared, his eyes wide. He shouted, 2 pills from a single cauldron, and the other is a condensing blood pill. A long-haired man, his face drenched in sweat, gritted his teeth. A condensing blood pill. Its difficulty is on par with a third-grade pill. That alone could secure him first place. Qingqiu turned around. In his hand, he clutched the condensing blood pill. His entire body seemed to glow. His gaze swept over the crowd. A disdainful smirk played on his lips. Disappointed, are we? Too bad. I'm just that good. Ma Fei's face was grim. Damn it. Son of a bitch. A single pill comparable to a third-grade one would have been arrogant enough, but he had to refine a second-grade one on top of it. Lu Zhang and the other alchemists were stunned. How are we supposed to win this? Usually, the alchemy tournament lasts for 3 days, but today it was over in 10 minutes. Even the host was looking at Qin Xiao in a new light. To think he could refine pills like these with that broken-down cauldron. What does that make the rest of us? An old master stared at Qin Xiao, thinking to himself, this kid is basically slapping every alchemist here, including old men like me, right in the face. Qin Xiao placed the 2 pills on a tray and carefully lifted it. He presented the tray to the announcer and said with a bright smile, Honorable Judge, the pills are complete. Please appraise them. The announcer examined the 2 pills closely. Their fragrance filled the entire room. What's there to appraise? Does a pill of this quality even need to be tested? After a moment of thought, the announcer stood and declared clearly, 1 third-grade condensing blood pill, accompanied by a peak second-grade purple core pill. The judges are unanimous. 10 points. No debate necessary. The old master folded his hands, pondering. Others get 10 points because of their skill. But Yin Qin Xiao gets 10 points because 10 is the highest score we can give. Down in the arena, the audience heard the announcer's declaration through the viewing system. Alchemist number 1, Yin Qin Xiao. A perfect score. Damn it. He got a perfect score right from the start. How are the alchemists after him supposed to surpass that? It's like he snatched the championship right at the beginning. Everyone else might as well give up now. Done. Qin Xiao casually took back the 2 pills from the tray. The host's expression was grim. He shot a dissatisfied glance. He pursed his lips indifferently. Wei Ji hugged her chest. Her smile blossomed like a radiant flower. He succeeded. He completely suppressed all his opponents, leaving them no strength to resist. She cast her gaze towards the audience. Her eyes sparkled. She covered her mouth, chuckling softly. My junior brother is truly too handsome. Yun Yun, whom she had called. His face was flush crimson. Senior sister, please stop shaking me so hard. I'm so embarrassed. Hearing this, Wei Ji immediately stopped. Her expression was apologetic. Sorry, let me cover for you. With that, she stepped forward, standing in front of him to block the view. Y Yun. Qin Xiao, next to the host. His face turned cold. Nan Zheng stepped forward. His gaze, sharp as a blade, swept across the entire hall, silencing everyone. Lu Zhao gritted his teeth. Enraged, I meticulously arranged everything to humiliate him. Who knew I'd be the first laughingstock instead? The remaining alchemists began to feel an unprecedented, terrifying pressure. Everyone fidgeted nervously. The host looked at the list and announced, Contestant number 2, Lu Zhao, please prepare. Upon hearing this, his face turned ashen. Quickly withdraw. Who would dare step up now? It would be like offering your head to be ridiculed by the masses. Just then, a hand clapped firmly on his shoulder. He turned around. It was a long-haired young man. Brother Lu, it's your turn. Don't even dream of winning the championship. Just successfully refining a pill will be enough. Lu Zhao's face drained of all color. Tears welled in his eyes. Refine a pill, my ass. You just wanted to go up there and be humiliated. His legs trembled uncontrollably. He originally thought he was just facing a young man. Who knew he'd be pushed to such a dead end? Thinking this, he collapsed. His mouth wide open, he cried out, I forfeit. The audience was stunned silent. Their mouths agape. They were speechless for a few seconds. The host tightly closed his eyes. He shook his head and sighed deeply. Contestant number 3. Before he could even call out the name, someone spoke up. I have urgent family matters. I humbly request to withdraw. Another man chuckled dryly. Someone already forfeited before me. It won't hurt if I follow suit. The host continued to call out names. But before he could, a series of people simultaneously declared, I forfeit. I must excuse myself. He was so enraged that he threw the list to the ground. He glared and roared. Anyone else wish to continue? Speak up now. The entire hall fell silent. Even Ma Fei was struck dumb. Li Baobao crossed his arms calmly. How peculiar. No one dares to step forward. Meanwhile, Qin Yongfu frantically looked around. Sweat poured down him like rain. Li Baobao looked down. The crowd quietly began to retreat. Pathetic. That guy is completely ruthless. The host, looking defeated, bows his head. Everyone has forfeited. In that case, the champion is Yin Qingxiu of the Luo Merchant Guild. The young man steps up to receive the trophy. A golden cup shaped like an alchemy furnace. The women in the crowd below stared intently. Their gazes were a mix of infatuation and awe. Suddenly, a girl shouted out, "Young Master Qingxiu is the greatest. I'll be your devoted fan forever. So talented and so handsome. We all love you." Ma Fei glanced over, seething with resentment. Women, they'll flock to whoever's on top. How pathetic. The moment the words left his mouth, a flood of women of all ages swarmed over the barriers and rushed the stage. They roared in unison. "Young Master Qingxiu is the greatest. We offer you our hearts." The young master could only stare, dumbfounded at the scene. His eyes went wide. What the? He panicked, turned, and took off running for his life. Damn it. So this is what it feels like to be hunted down. Qingxiu grabbed Wan Ji's hand and shouted, "Run." Wan Ji saw the horde of women chasing after them, and a cold sweat ran down her spine. Qingxiu gripped her hand tightly, and the two of them bolted amidst the screaming. Behind them, their figures darted from one street to the next, kicking up clouds of dust. The crowd behind them roared, "Young Master Qingxiu, wait for us." The dust was so thick it obscured an old bronze censer by the roadside. Qingxiu, now covered in lipstick marks, his clothes completely disheveled. "I can't believe the champion ended up in a mess like this. How am I going to explain this to Xiaoya?" Wan Ji sat perched on top of a gate. Her face turned away. She spoke. "She's probably already left. I never realized you were so popular, junior brother. Even I'm surprised." Qingxiu turned his face away, feigning indifference. "I didn't expect things to turn out like this either." As Wan Ji turned, their eyes met. It was the first time she'd ever been this close to a man, and her heart pounded in her chest as they were lost in each other's gaze. A certain book slipped from Qingxiu's robes, landing right at Wan Ji's feet. The pages flew open, revealing images not suitable for young eyes. Wan Ji saw it. Her eyes widened. A nervous sweat broke out across her skin. Unable to restrain herself, she grabbed Qingxiu's hand. Her cheeks flushed a deep red. "Junior brother." Wan Ji gazed up at Qingxiu, her eyes full of affection. She gently touched his face, then leaned in, bringing her lips close to his. Qingxiu was stunned. His breath hitched. "My mind's a total mess. I've never experienced this before. What do I do now?" Just as their lips were about to touch, a loud shout echoed from outside. Startled, they clung to each other. Someone yelled, "I just saw them hiding here. Search the area, quickly." Oh no, it's Yongfu's crew. His men had been searching the entire market to capture Qingxiu and Wan Ji. Worried, Wan Ji jumped to her feet. She raised her hand, chanting an incantation, gathering her energy before unleashing an attack. The pose couldn't help but draw Qingxiu's attention to her stunning figure. He thought to himself, "Damn it, this sight is going to be the death of me." A wave of energy erupted from Wan Ji, causing a massive explosion, forcing Yongfu's lackeys on the defensive. Boom! The blast wounded them all. They gritted their teeth in fury. Right before their eyes, Wan Ji pulled Qingxiu and shot into the air. The men instantly retaliated, unleashing a barrage of sword chi. A menacing aura surged toward the pair. With a sharp twist of her arm, she conjured a defensive array, blocking the ferocious assault. In the next moment, a blinding explosion ripped through the sky, stunning everyone. In an instant, Wan Ji grabbed Qingxiu's hand. They soared onto the rooftops, but when she looked back, the sight made her blood run cold. Ding Yongfu was standing below, his hands clasped behind his back. He looked up, laughing boisterously. "Ha ha ha! My, what a fast runner you are, great beauty. But I finally caught you. It seems my efforts weren't in vain." Wan Ji's expression darkened. This is bad. Their strongest is at the late foundation establishment stage. The rest are mostly in the early stage. I'm only at the middle stage. And junior brother just reached the chi refining stage. We're in serious trouble. Qian Yongfu fanned himself and stepped forward. Two of his henchmen followed closely behind. "I never expected you to be traveling with such an expert. What a massive haul this will be. Not only will I capture the famous beauty of Luolang City, but I'll also get a skilled alchemist to turn into my puppet. Lu Zhao raised a hand and sneered. You pathetic wannabe. You dare insult me? Let's see you try and fight back now. He spread his arms wide as he closed in on Wan Ji. He murmured, You're finally mine. But before he could finish, his eyes shot wide open. He screamed, Wait, what are you all doing? His face flushed with rage. Grr, how dare you? Lu Zhao pointed at a book at Wan Ji's feet. His eyes were bloodshot. His voice filled with indignation. You useless fools. How dare you two take my best-selling book and sell it at a market stall? Wan Ji crossed her arms and looked down. Her gaze was filled with contempt. Junior brother, do you think you hit him a little too hard? He's become so pathetic. I can't believe how shameless he is. Hearing this, Lu Zhao quickly covered his mouth, trembling. Did you just call me a dog? Captain, get the now. Qian Yongfu clapped his hands, giving the order. His face was ice cold. Enough talk. Move. Don't think you can escape. I've already laid a trap array. The moment he gave the command, a squad of his men swarmed down from the rooftops. Li Baobao stood with 5 imposing brothers in arms. Their gazes locked on Qian Yongfu. Qian Yongfu sneered, a wicked grin spreading across his face. Oomph. The time has finally come. Wan Ji's eyes widened. In terror. There's no escaping this, even if we grew wings. Qian Yongfu walked over to Li Baobao. His voice was sharp. Brother Li, I'll have to ask you to handle this. I will reward you handsomely when this is over. Li Baobao walked towards Qing Xiao. His face was cold and expressionless. He knelt. He clasped his hands in respect. His voice was deep. Forgive me for being late, great master. Scum like him isn't worthy of your time. Please, allow me to handle this. Qian Yongfu and Lu Zhao's eyes were wide with disbelief. Their minds were screaming. What the hell? The big boss of the He Dao is kneeling before Yun Qingxiu. Am I seeing things, or has this vicious bastard lost his mind? In their confusion, the 5 powerhouses had already surrounded Qian Yongfu and Lu Zhao. Wait, what do you think you're doing? Qian Yongfu was drenched in a cold sweat. He was shaking so hard his pants were about to fall off. Don't come any closer. The silence was suddenly shattered by a blood-curdling scream. After a tense beatdown, Yongfu and Lu Zhao were sprawled on the floor. Their bodies were covered in massive bruises. Li Baobao glanced over at Qingxiu, choosing his words carefully. Master, I've taken care of this little nuisance for you. Just a little something for you to remember. You don't have to bring it up again. Hearing this, Li Baobao quickly clasped his hands and, My lord, allow me to escort you back. Qingxiu glanced away. After a moment of thought, he gave a slight nod. All right. Thanks. Behind them, Yuan Ji's eyes were filled with hesitation. She couldn't understand why Qingxiu would go with Li Baobao. What was going on? Soon, the group arrived back in Luo City. The moment they stepped inside, Yuan Ji was jolted by a servant's panicked cry. It's terrible, young miss. The chairman's condition has taken a turn for the worse. We've sent for a renowned doctor, but it'll take time for him to get here. Yuan Ji was horrified. What did you just say? She nearly collapsed. Clutching her head, she crumpled. How could this be happening? She gripped Qingxiu's hand tightly. Her voice was trembling and urgent. Junior brother, the Yinning fruit, give it to me. My senior sister and I will go find. I'm an alchemist myself. I know a thing or two about medicine. She lowered her head. Her face was filled with anxiety. But father's condition is already critical. Before she could say more, Qingxiu pulled her into his arms, holding her tightly to comfort her. Don't worry, I'm here now. Yuan Ji buried her face in Qingxiu's shoulder, silently wiping away a tear. A strange thought sparked in Qingxiu's mind. Maybe one day, her father will be my father too. Just then, Yinyan happened to walk out and saw the scene. She was completely stunned. Flustered, Qingxiu quickly changed the subject. Senior sister, did you bring the spirit fruit? We could really use it right now. Of course I did. With that, she handed the spirit fruit to Qingxiu. Here, little Qiu, I hope nothing goes wrong this time. Qingxiu took the spirit fruit and gave it to Yuan Ji. Senior sister, this is the spirit fruit from Treasure Gathering Peak. It should help. Look, we need to go now. Yuan Ji tightened her grip on Qingxiu's hand. Her eyes softened. She smiled. Okay, let's go together. The scene shifts to a room filled with a bone-chilling cold. As Yuan Ji pushed open the door, Wave after wave of cold air poured out, flooding the room. A servant hurriedly reported, "Master, our Chamber of Commerce has just won the Grand Alchemy Tournament." The crimson flame fruit had been retrieved. Inside the frigid room, a silver-haired old man lay on the bed. Strangely, his forehead was slick with sweat. Hearing Yuan Ji's voice, he struggled to sit up. His face was a mask of pain. Qing Qiu stood to the side, watching everything unfold. His life force is still strong. That means the injury isn't fatal. But to think senior sister's grandfather is a spirit beast, I never would have guessed. Yuan Ji hurried to his side. Her voice was soft. "Yes, I'm here, Grandpa. Don't talk. Let me give you the medicine." She reached for the medicine in her storage ring, but the old man stopped her. He shook his head, his voice laced with misery. "It's no use. The cold poison has already invaded my sea of qi. I'm afraid this is a calamity I won't survive." At his words, the color drained from Yuan Ji's face. She looked down. Tears welled in her eyes, then streamed down her cheeks. "No, that's impossible." She choked back a sob. "If it's really that bad, I'll go back to Luo Shun Palace and beg my father to save you." The old man heaved a sorrowful sigh. The Han UK clan has always been bound to a tragic, inescapable fate. I never had any children of my own. I was just lucky enough to have you call me Grandpa. My only regret is that I can no longer see your face clearly. We've been apart for a year. I wonder how much you've changed, young Mississippi. Yuan Ji gritted her teeth, regret washing over her. If I hadn't been so willful, Grandpa wouldn't have had to suffer for the past 5 years. She squeezed the old man's hand and said resolutely, "There's no poison in this world without a cure. There has to be a way. Please, just tell me what it is. I'll find it no matter what." The old man was quiet for a moment before he spoke. "This cold poison can only be cured by a feather from the azure ape vermilion bird of the ice flame domain." Hearing that, Yuan Ji's heart plummeted. The azure ape vermilion bird. That's a supreme grade spirit beast. It's almost impossible to even get near one. Legend has it that the Shu Huang, the most powerful of its kind, was once the leader of the entire azure ape vermilion bird clan. Its majestic aura was so immense it could blot out the sky. It was notoriously ferocious and utterly untamable. They say a single one of its cries could dim the sun and the moon. The Shu Huang was the undisputed lord of the skies, a symbol for the entire feathered clan. Hearing this, Qing Qiu was at a loss for words. A wry smile touched his lips as a thought crossed his mind. Then who's that little winner that follows me around every day? The one that squeals like a kitten when it's angry and rolls over for a head pat? Huh. No wonder the southern branch of the feathered clan has been in decline. The old man gazed into the distance, lost in memory. A spirit beast like that is something most cultivators will never see in their lifetime. Only a peerless powerhouse would even have the chance to stand before one. At the mention of a peerless powerhouse, Qing Qiu's expression soured. He grunted softly. Did he really have to bring that up? Hearing there was no hope, Yuan Ji clenched her fists. She collapsed, her body racked with sobs. "So, there's really no hope at all?" The old man's voice was heavy with sorrow. "Young miss, you need to leave. Now, it will be a disaster if this cold poison spreads to you." Qing Qiu stared at the thick, frosty air swirling around the old man. He needs a feather from an azure ape vermilion bird, and a spirit beast from the feathered clan, at that. His bloodline is probably incomplete. That must be why he needs a vermilion bird's feather to suppress the poison. Well, he is senior sister's grandpa. Guess it's worth plucking one out. With that thought, he casually scratched the back of his neck. "Ahem, that feather you're talking about. I've got one." Hearing this, the old man's eyes shot wide open. He stared in utter disbelief. It was impossible. "Young man, what did you just say?" "Junior brother, have you really seen a vermilion bird's feather before?" Tom Thursday didn't answer right away. He simply walked to the door in silence and said, "Wait here a moment." He left the room. A thought flashed through his mind. The vermilion bird's feather contains an incredibly violent spiritual energy. If it were to erupt, not only the old master, but all of Luo Ling City could be reduced to ashes. By the bedside, Oichi gently soothed him. "Grandpa, please, just hold on a little longer. Junior brother has seen a vermilion bird's feather with his own eyes." He must have a solution. The old man closed his eyes, breathing heavily. The vermilion bird is a noble creature. Its feather is a sacred relic to our entire clan. How could an outsider possibly possess one? That boy must be mistaken. Hearing his words, Oi-Chi trembled. She shrank back. The old man placed his frail hand on hers. His voice was gentle. I still remember when you were just a little girl, my lady. Now, you've grown into such a graceful young woman. I wonder who will be fortunate enough to marry you. It's a pity I won't live to see it. I remember that time you climbed a tree and got stuck. You were too stubborn to call for help. Tears streamed down her face. She quickly wiped them away. That's right. In the end, you were the one who found me, and you got me down from the tree. He looked up. The old master's voice was choked with emotion. My only regret in this life is that I won't get to see you married, my lady, and I couldn't even help choose a husband for you. A tear rolled down his cheek. I just hope someone will love and cherish you for the rest of your life. Just then, Tom Thursday burst in from outside, holding a feather pendant. This is a family heirloom. They say it's a vermilion bird's feather, but I'm not sure if it's real or not. He held it out. Instantly, an immense spiritual pressure radiated from it, engulfing the room. The old master felt its terrifying power. His expression changed in an instant. He fell into a violent coughing fit, spattering blood across the blanket. All the while, spiritual energy from the feather flowed into him. He thought to himself, just a remnant of its power is this soul-shaking. This is without a doubt a real vermilion bird feather. Tom Thursday scratched his cheek, pretending to be uncertain. So, can this thing actually be used? The old master answered gravely. It can. I can't believe it. The sacred relic is right here before my eyes. I just don't know what price must be paid. Tom Thursday turned and handed the feather to Oi-Chi, senior sister. Here, take it. The moment she touched it, a torrent of spiritual energy erupted. She quickly lifted it and presented it to the old master. Please take a look. The old man took it. Spiritual energy surged into his body. The very thing the Hanyu Sparrow clan has always craved is now in my hands. With that thought, he shot upright and began to refine its power. A fierce flame erupted around his body. Tom Thursday's brows furrowed. Senior sister, let's go outside. Not long after, a pillar of spiritual energy erupted from the old master's room, shattering the roof tiles. As Oi-Chi watched, she covered her mouth, overcome with emotion. Tears began to fall. Grandpa, unable to hold it in any longer, she turned and threw her arms around Tom Thursday. Grandpa's saved. This is a good thing. Why are you crying? Senior sister, you're 3 years older than me. There. Don't cry. Yuan-Chi gave a strained smile. Her face flushed red. I don't know what comes over me. Whenever I'm with you, junior brother, all my composure just vanishes. I feel like such a child. Ching Chiu gently wiped her tears. Don't cry anymore. I'm not some little kid you could just soothe like that. But Yuan-Chi stopped fighting it. She let her emotions pour out. Ching Chiu watched her. A bright smile spread across his face. His eyes sparkled. Right now, senior sister, you look just like a sweet little girl. So let your junior brother take care of you. Crying too much will make you ugly, you know. With that, he gently wiped the last of the tears from her cheeks. It made her blush furiously. Flustered, but a moment later, Yuan-Chi suddenly bristled. She shoved Ching Chiu away. Her voice filled with indignation. Are you calling me ugly? Ching Chiu hastily shook his head. He answered with complete sincerity. No, senior sister is the most beautiful. I misspoke. Hearing that, she stepped closer. She gave his cheek a light pinch. Her voice turned into a playful pout. I'm 3 years older than you, and you have the nerve to call me a child? It's so humiliating. Ching Chiu raised his hands in surrender. Then what should I call you? Senior sister? Just call me Yuan-Chi. Simple. Intimate. Nothing so formal. Hearing this, Ching Chiu decided to try. Yuan. But the moment she heard it, she blushed again and shyly turned away. Ching Chiu scratched his cheek. He looked completely baffled. This whole seniority thing is so complicated. After all, she is still my eldest senior sister. Yuan-Chi heard him and her temper flared. So you do remember I'm your eldest senior sister, huh? With that, she turned and stormed off, muttering to herself, always teasing me. And then you say things like that? Going on about our status. You're so shameless. She sat down on a chair and crossed her arms. leaving Qin Xiu even more confused. He stood there awkwardly, unsure how to handle her beet-red, angry face. He thought to himself, if I push her away now, I'll ruin everything. Can't do that. Definitely can't do that. A moment later, Yuan Shi took a deep breath and asked softly, Junior brother, that feather, it's a family heirloom, isn't it? How could you give something so precious to us? Qin Xiu quickly replied, let's worry about that after you've passed the trial. Besides, treasures are meant to be used. A phoenix's feathers grow back fast. I could pluck enough to make a whole set of jewelry, but that would probably send the cultivation world into a panic. Yuan Shi lowered her head. Her voice was heavy. This is a priceless treasure. I don't know how I could ever repay you. The thought of repaying him with her body flashed through her mind. Her face burned bright red. Her heart was in turmoil. What am I thinking? How could I even consider something like that? While her mind was racing, Qin Xiu suddenly touched her shoulder, making Yuan Shi jump. She turned to look at him. Their eyes met. Yuan Shi asked, what is it, junior brother? Qin Xiu didn't answer. He slowly leaned in, closer and closer to her face. Yuan Shi's heart began to pound wildly. Her mind went completely blank. She softly closed her eyes, trembling as she waited for her first kiss. But Qin Xiu just grabbed her shoulder. She tried to move away, which only infuriated Yuan Shi. How dare this brat take the initiative? Does he think I won't get mad? Qin Xiu reached out and gently brushed a lock of her hair. His eyes were filled with worry. Senior sister, you've been afflicted by the frost poison. Hearing this, Yuan Shi froze. She stammered. What? Qin Xiu explained. The frost poison from that old man is spreading quickly. It's already seeped into your body. We need to purge it as soon as possible. Otherwise, the consequences will be severe. Yuan Shi held the lock of her hair, staring at it intently. Is it really that serious? I didn't even notice. We can't take this lightly. Qin Xiu immediately took out his alchemy furnace. Luckily, we caught it in time. I'll immediately concoct an antidote pill for you. With that, he channeled his spiritual energy into the furnace. He reassured her, don't worry, senior sister. It'll just be a moment. In an instant, the flames inside the furnace roared to life. Yuan Shi watched the scene in amazement. Compared to the alchemy conference, his skills have improved by leaps and bounds. Before long, a medicinal pill was complete. Its fragrant aroma filled the air. Qin Xiu held the pill, his gaze focused. Senior sister, please take this. Yuan Shi looked at the pill in his hand. His alchemy has reached an astonishing level. Qin Xiu stroked his chin thoughtfully. This is a peak grade, third-rank pill. To make sure she doesn't find any reason to refuse, it's best if I give it to her myself. He gently squeezed Yuan Shi's chin, catching her by surprise. He quickly popped the pill in her mouth and held her jaw. Yuan Shi covered her mouth. Furious. Asterisk, does he think I'm a child who needs to be fed? Asterisk. Qin Xiu watched as the medicinal power began to take effect. He instructed, Senior sister, hurry and refine it. As the pill's effects activate, a warm current will flow through your meridians. Count how many times it circulates. When it stops, pay close attention. Yuan Shi stormed out the door. Her cheeks flushed red, a look of irritation on her face. She returned to her room and took off her outer robes. I have to mark the path of the heat flow. As soon as the thought crossed her mind, her robes were off. First, I'll mark where it begins. Yuan Shi took a brush and drew a symbol just below her dantian. She held the brush in her mouth and sat down on the bed. She closed her eyes and raised her hands, but she still couldn't push out the frost poison. The immense pressure drenched her in sweat. After a while, she stopped cultivating. She let out a sigh of relief. Finally, it's done. Junior brother will be checking the marks later. I shouldn't wear an outer robe. They need to be clearly visible. I should choose something form-fitting. This is so strange. We're just senior sister and junior brother. Why does it have to be like this? With that thought, she cracked open the door. Junior brother. I can't come out. You can come in. All right. Qin Xiu placed his hand on the door. He said softly, I'm coming in. He opened the door. The moment he saw her figure, his eyes shot wide open. His face flushed bright red. Sweat poured down his temples. Qin Xiu stood frozen outside the door, staring at her in that short robe. He couldn't stop gulping. He thought to himself, heavens above, My senior sister is truly intoxicating. It's a good thing I have some self-control. Otherwise, while he was lost in thought, Yuanji walked over and asked, Junior brother, why is your nose bleeding? It's nothing, just a nosebleed from the excitement. Yuanji stared blankly for a few seconds, having no idea what he meant. Then, she rolled up her sleeves, a small smile on her face. This place is truly amazing. Even though the flow of qi isn't very stable, the fire energy still manages to seep through. At that sight, Qin Qiu's eyes widened. He covered his mouth. Overwhelmed, he was nearly speechless. He muttered, this is just too much. How is anyone supposed to handle this? Yuanji overheard him and froze. Her eyes flew open. What was he talking about? Qin Qiu immediately threw his hands up, trying to deflect. Nothing. It's nothing. This heat rash means the cold poison isn't fully gone, so there's still some residual poison left. He explained to Yuanji. Next, I need to gently press on the areas where the poison remains. I'll channel my spiritual energy into a current of heat to envelop and purge it. So, my performing this massage is entirely necessary. I have absolutely no ulterior motives. Yuanji bit her lip. Her heart was a mix of hesitation and shame. You see me like this, and now I have to let him touch me. It's not like we have that kind of relationship. This is just so awkward. While she was lost in thought, Qin Qiu had already summoned a green flame. His gaze was focused. He said softly, Senior sister, I'm going to begin. Yuanji hesitated for a moment, then nodded. Go ahead. She felt as if she had no other choice. Just as Qin Qiu was about to touch her, she quickly raised a hand to stop him. Junior brother, don't get any funny ideas. If you happen to, let your hand wander. I will. Senior sister. What will you do? Yuanji lowered her head. Her voice was timid. I'll just have to cling to you for the rest of my life. I wouldn't dare do anything else to you. Hearing this, Qin Qiu broke into a radiant smile. He was ecstatic. This might not be so bad after all. A moment later, he slapped himself to snap out of it. No, don't go there. Why am I even thinking like that? He raised his hands and formed a seal. Sweat beaded on his forehead. In heaven and earth, there is pure qi. Gather it now within the dantian. He then brought his fingertips together and chanted again. In heaven and earth, there is pure qi. As he finished, the spiritual energy in his body surged and erupted. Yuanji felt Qin Qiu's true qi flowing through her meridians. A wave of relief washed over her. She bowed her head, sweat dripping down her face. Her breathing grew heavy and ragged, but the feeling of relief passed all too quickly. He reminded himself to stay in control. Suddenly, something unexpected happened that shattered Qin Qiu's concentration. He opened his eyes to see Yuanji lunging forward and hugging him tightly. Her body was trembling. His mind reeled with 1,000 questions. The poison's reaction is too strong. She can't handle it. But I was so careful with the dosage. Was it still too much? Just then, mysterious black runes surfaced on Yuanji's delicate face, spreading across her body in an intricate web. Qin Qiu gripped Yuanji's shoulder, his mind in chaos. Is this the Luotian curse? A long time ago, within the cultivation world, the Luotian clan were masters of profound water-based secret arts. They held a special place among the great families. The women of their clan were famous for their purity and elegance. They guarded their bloodline with extreme strictness. Every girl born was marked with a curse to bind her actions, a seal that could only be broken through marriage. The curse was said to manifest whenever the bounds of intimacy were crossed. If that line was truly broken, the curse would strike down both parties involved. But over time, like so many other great clans and families, the Luotian and their traditions faded from the world. No one even knows where they went. Now understanding everything, Qin Qiu lifted Yuanji and gently laid her on the bed. So that's it. Cross the line of intimacy, and the curse appears as a warning. But if her purity is broken, the curse delivers its punishment instantly. The thought made him recoil. But why did the Luotian curse even appear? I haven't done anything to cross that line. At that moment, the runes on Yuanji's body shifted from black to a startling red. She bit down hard, tried to endure the pain. A bizarre, demonic aura began to radiate from her body, forcing Qin Qiu to back away. The demonic qi gathered, forming a sinister black hand. Space itself seemed to warp and flicker around it. Illusions overlapped like a shattered incantation. The air rippled with a deathly chill. Qin Xiu's eyes widened. He gathered his power, forming a ferocious ball of lightning in his palm. Without hesitation, he hurled the lightning ball straight through the spectral hand. Arcs of electricity coursed through the demonic appendage, stunning it. In a flash, the hand dissipated, leaving only faint wisps of energy lingering in the air. Qin Xiu stared at his own hand. An attack like that would have been difficult for even a golden core cultivator to survive. Unfortunately for it, it ran into me. The backlash from the attack caused the runes on Wan Ji's body to slowly fade away. This is no ordinary curse. Eldest senior sister, she must have a complicated past. On the bed, Wan Ji slept, her body twitching slightly. The sight sent a torrent of thoughts racing through Qin Xiu's mind. The Luotian curse. The Luotian curse. That's it. He thought so hard his mind felt like a tangled mess. His eyes widened in panic, large beads of sweat forming on his brow. He cried out in silent despair. I didn't defile senior sister. I was just helping her expel the poison. I only touched her a little, but the curse, it's gone. He stared down at his own hands. If senior sister finds out, how am I going to explain this? He glanced over at Wan Ji, his face twisting in anguish. She's drifting in and out of consciousness. At this rate, not even the Yellow River could wash me clean of this. Just as he thought that, she suddenly arched her back and coughed up a mouthful of blood. Qin Xiu rushed to her side. Senior sister, he called out softly. Senior sister. He grasped her hand tightly. He spoke through gritted teeth, filled with rage. The Luotian curse. It's too cruel. Once broken, it seals off her path of cultivation and ruins her appearance. In this chaotic cultivation world, what does a woman have to rely on then? As he spoke, he clutched his head, his eyes stretched wide. His mind spun violently, his spiritual energy scattered. His meridians erupted in chaos. His chi ocean felt like it was about to shatter. How do I fix this? In a moment of grave danger, he suddenly remembered he had one last drop of azure flame, vermilion bird blood. He solemnly took out the vial of blood and stared at it intently. Without a moment's hesitation, Qin Xiu threw his head back and drank the drop of azure flame, vermilion bird blood. But before he could swallow, his body erupted with arcs of electricity. There was no other way. He lowered his head and passed the drop of blood to Wan Ji with his lips. Her eyes slowly fluttered open. A familiar scent. It's him, my junior brother. She instinctively sat up, but he moved closer, deepening the kiss. After a long moment, they finally parted. Wan Ji, still in a daze, drifted back to sleep. Her foundation, establishment-level body couldn't handle the strain. Qin Xiu pulled back, wiping the sweat from his brow. He let out a sigh of relief. Oh man, that was intoxicating. Just then, a spirit seal, identical to the one on Xiaoya, appeared on Wan Ji's thigh. Qin Xiu froze when he saw it. His face went rigid. A sense of unease washed over him. He stared at Wan Ji, his mind racing. He clutched his chest. No, it can't be. But his eyes were drawn back to her soft figure and the seal imprinted on her smooth, white skin. He held his hands out in front of him. His face was a mask of disbelief. What is going on? Don't tell me. Even my senior sister belongs to me now. A while later, Qin Xiu sat alone on the roof. He muttered to himself. Today has been way too strange. He chewed thoughtfully on a ginseng root and stared into the distance. Old Master Luo is slowly recovering his vital energy, and Wan Ji is free from the Luo god's curse. Her constitution has even improved. But now, she's another one who's bound to me. At that thought, he ran his hands through his hair in frustration. I died a lonely man in my past life. Now, I've just been reborn, and I already have 2 marks of the heavenly Tao's decree. One is the 10,000-mile fairy, the heavenly nether saintly body. The other is a regal beauty from the Luo god clan. A beauty so exquisite, 1,000 years wouldn't be enough. And those legs, they're enough to give a man a heart attack. I'm not just an alchemist anymore. I'm getting tangled up in some kind of harem. The Merchant's Guild. Things like nourishing medicinal herbs. He rubbed his forehead as he thought. That's not right. Strengthening the body isn't hard. But getting it to synergize with my own core essence is the real challenge. There's the Lotus Temple body, the Immortal Spirit Dance body, and the Spirit Blood. All three of those rare physiques require a pure maiden. And the bloodlines can't be ordinary, either. They aren't my Tao companions yet. How could I possibly obtain something like that so easily? Thinking of this, Qingqiu lowered his head slightly. He sighed. For now, I can only rely on the power of medicine to hold on. His thoughts settled, he leaned back on the roof tiles. He stretched his arms high above his head. He let out a deep sigh. The biggest headache right now is figuring out what to do about Xiaoya and my senior sister. I had no romantic ties in my past life. Now, two fated partners have appeared out of nowhere. What am I supposed to tell them? I don't even know how long I have left to live. Will I ever even make it back home? As his mind wandered, a sudden thought made Qingqiu blush. He fell silent, flustered. Looking up, he saw Wanji materializing before him. She quickly sat down beside him. Her face was also flushed. She asked quietly, "Junior brother, what did you see back there?" Qingqiu quickly looked away. His gaze fell upon a white flower. "I saw the light." Then he quickly changed the subject. "Huh, it's nothing. Senior sister, are you feeling better now?" Wanji lowered her head and replied, "Thanks to you, I don't feel any discomfort anymore. In fact, I feel much lighter." As she spoke, her face suddenly flushed red. She glanced down at her own chest and thought, "And I feel fuller." They say the best way to encourage growth is to be touched. Could it be that junior brother did something? Qingqiu sat cross-legged. He rested his chin in his hand, patiently waiting for her to continue. And she turned her face away, embarrassed. She refused to say another word. Wanji sat in silence, her pipa held in her hands, her gaze lost in the distance. Seeing this, Qingqiu reached out as if to touch her face, but Wanji suddenly turned back toward him. Her mind flashed back to the kiss while she was injured. What she thought was a dream felt so real. Caught in the act, Qingqiu pretended to stretch before lying back to gaze at the sky. His face was bright red. Wanji shot him an annoyed look. She wanted to scold him, but felt too shy. "What is my junior brother up to?" Qingqiu scratched his cheek. He quickly changed the subject. "So, are you and your grandfather feeling better?" She nodded. "Much better." He averted his gaze, putting on an innocent act. "Since I was the one who saved you, can you forgive me, senior sister?" Qingqiu closed his eyes, hoping. I hope she understands that the spell is broken, and that she'll forgive me at least a little. Hearing this, Wanji looked surprised. She asked, "Forgive you? What I have to forgive you for? You're the one who saved me and my grandfather. I have nothing but gratitude for you." Qingqiu's face lit up, his eyes filled with anticipation. "So, how does my senior sister plan to thank me? I'm dying to know." Wanji strode over to him. She placed a hand on Qingqiu's shoulder and said calmly, "What if I offer myself in return? You see, I'm 3 years older than you, if you don't mind that." Before Qingqiu could respond, he turned away and mumbled to himself, "She was already mine to begin with. There's no need for any repayment." Wanji stared at him, her expression quizzical. "What did you just say? Speak clearly, junior brother, or your senior sister will have to punish you." I said, "You've grown even more beautiful, and your figure is more voluptuous. It must be the J-body art." Wanji closed her eyes for a moment. She placed a hand over her heart and said, "Well, is there another way I can thank you? If my junior brother likes sweets, I'll stay by your side and make you desserts until you get tired of them. And if you do get tired of them..." But before she could finish, Qingqiu placed a hand over his heart. A wide smile spread across his face. "Then senior sister will just have to learn how to make many other dishes. I'll keep eating until you never want to cook again." Hearing this, Wanji's eyes widened. She turned to him. "How could I ever get tired of it?" Qingqiu placed his hand over hers. He said to her gently, "That's even better. Xiaoya can handle the daily chores. Senior sister can take care of our meals. And the three of us can live a peaceful life together. If we don't know which way the path leads, we can just let fate guide us. All that matters is that you're both willing to stay by my side. I won't let you down." Wei tilted her head slightly, her eyes filled with a touch of sadness. "Are you planning to build a harem, junior brother? Making snacks for you is one thing, but it's a shame I'm not used to taking care of anyone. Still, I can learn how to love someone. As someone a few years older than you, I suppose that's my duty." With that, She turned back to him and softly called out, "Junior brother." But Qin Xiu had already been built from time ago. Wei looked at him, a gentle smile on her face. "Just as you said, from now on, my heart belongs to you and you alone." She leaned down and placed a gentle kiss on Qin Xiu's cheek. So tender. Women of the Luo Shan tribe don't give their hearts away so easily. Afterward, the two of them lay side by side, sleeping peacefully on the rooftop. A short time later, at the gates of Luo Ling City, Wei stood with her grandfather and Qin Xiu. Her grandfather stroked his beard, looked over at his granddaughter, and began to lecture her. "Listen here, you silly girl. You absolutely cannot let this man get away. If you lose him, you won't get another chance." Hearing this, Wei grabbed her grandfather's arm. She whispered, "Grandfather, you've already said that a dozen times." I know. Please, just keep your voice down. What do you know? That young man is destined for greatness. Tying yourself to him is no loss for you." Wei turned away, embarrassed. Of course, the man I've set my sights on could never be ordinary. The old man's eyes widened in surprise. He stared. "Wait a minute. My dear girl, does this mean all your recent actions? Could it be?" Wei turned her head, her eyes sparkling. As she gazed intently at Qin Xiu, she smiled softly and confessed, "Someone as wonderful as him. How could I possibly let him go? That's right. I have feelings for junior brother." Nearby, Luo Lin watched as Wu Qin Xiu climbed onto the spirit beast. "Miss, it is time for the guild master to depart." "So soon?" Her grandfather stared ahead intently. "I need to have a word with that young man." But as he started to walk over, Wei stopped him. "Grandfather, let me handle this myself. You don't need to worry. All right?" The old man nodded. Then he turned and called out, "Young man, take good care of my Wei for me." With that, he turned and walked away, still muttering a few last words of advice to Wei. Before long, Qin Xiu was soaring through the air on the back of the spirit beast, gliding through the open space. He glanced back one last time, finally getting out of there. Finally, that old man really doesn't need to worry so much. She's going to be my wife. It's just a matter of time. Just don't blame me later for what happened with the Luo Shan curse and the spirit seal contract. I couldn't bring myself to say anything. Forgive me. After flying for some time, he finally returned to Guiyuan Immortal Mountain. In the courtyard, a familiar figure was sweeping. It was Xiaoya. She looked up and saw the spirit beast descending, her eyes widening in surprise. She called out softly, "Qin Xiu, senior sister." The moment Qin Xiu's feet touched the ground, Xiaoya ran and threw her arms around him. "You're finally back." She rested her cheek against Tan Thursday's chest. Her face was flushed. "I can't believe. It's only been 10 days, but it feels like half a year." Tan Thursday glanced down at her. His expression was serious. Her face is red. Her aura is in turmoil, and her eyes are filled with such longing. Xiaoya suddenly grew flustered. She covered her face and ran. "I'll go make dinner for everyone." Tan Thursday watched her go. Beads of sweat formed on his brow. Could I have been wrong about her? A moment later, Tan Thursday carried a basket of rice toward the kitchen. He pushed aside the purple curtain and looked. Inside, Xiaoya was busy chopping vegetables. Hearing him, she asked without looking up, "Tan Tu, did you have fun in Luoling City?" Tan Thursday set the rice on the table. He smiled. "It's a bustling place. I'll take you there to see it someday." He then added, "Is something wrong?" Xiaoya stopped chopping, her head lowered. "You seem a little different today." Tan Thursday pressed her. "Different how?" She turned to him. She touched a finger to her cheek and struck a cute pose. "You're looking awfully cute. You must have fallen for someone while you were away." "Huh?" Hearing that, Tan Thursday froze for a few seconds. Then he stepped forward and ruffled her hair. "Only 10 days apart, and you've already learned how to tease me." Suddenly, Tan Thursday stopped cold. Oh no. His power erupted from within. His face darkened. Not this pressure again. Before he could react, Xiaoya pushed him against the wall and held him tight. Tan Thursday's face burned red. He was flustered and in pain. "Don't take it all at once. Just leave a little for me." Half an hour later, Xiaoya emerged from the kitchen carrying a tray of food. She looked calm and refreshed. Tan Thursday was still in the kitchen. One hand on his hip, the other leaning on the doorframe, he panted heavily. "I can't believe she drained me the moment I got back. Completely exhausted." Soon, everyone was gathered in the dining room. As she served the rice, she asked senior sister Luo, "Did Ton Thursday cause you any trouble?" "Not at all." UNG just smiled gently. A junior brother as capable as him could never be a bother. In fact, he helped us a great deal. Taking her seat at the table, Xiaoya glanced at UNG, curious. "Before you left, senior sister, you said you'd be back in 4 or 5 days. Why were you gone for so long?" UNG's voice was soft. "Well, I ran into a bit of a mishap." She placed a large bag on the table and said with a smile, "Oh, that's right, junior sister. I stopped by Luoling City and bought a few things. For you. I hope you like them." Xiaoya opened the bag. Her eyes lit up at the sight of the new clothes. "Wow, they're beautiful. Thank you, senior sister. I love them." UNG closed her eyes. A single drop of sweat rolled down her cheek. "I can't help but think. Junior sister and junior brother are childhood sweethearts. And here I am, stepping in between them. It feels like I'm stealing something. That belongs to her." Xiaoya hugged the pile of clothes tightly. She chattered happily. A few days ago, one of the elders in the sect took a new consort. Their robes were absolutely magnificent. I was wondering when I'd ever own something so beautiful. And now I do. "Thank you so much, senior sister." Across the table, Ton Thursday cleared his throat. "I've got an idea. The way things are going, Xiaoya will be the main wife in the future. I should test the waters." He speaks. "Xiaoya, what do you think about harems?" She whips her head around. Her expression turns serious. "A harem? What is there to think about? It's common enough. The rich often take many wives. And in the cultivation world, powerful cultivators have entire households of concubines." After speaking, Xiaoya glances at Qing Xiao, a hint of sadness in her eyes. "What is it? Are you planning on having a harem, too?" Qing Xiao quickly hides his face behind his bowl. Damn, what man hasn't at least thought about it? Suya turns to stare at Yun Yun and says flatly, "Don't ask me about that. I'm not his first wife." Yun Yun flushes slightly. She mutters, "Who knows? Maybe you'll be one day." Suya crosses her arms and closes her eyes. Her tone is sharp. "If I were this big idiot's wife, I'd keep him in line. But if he wants a harem, fine. As long as he can bring in a beautiful and talented woman like our eldest sister." I'd agree 100%. Just as she finishes, a pair of chopsticks clatters onto the table. She turns a bright, shining gaze toward Yuan Ji, grinning from ear to ear. "Right, eldest sister?" Yuan Ji is stunned. She doesn't know how to respond. "What are you even talking about?" Yuan Ji breaks out in a sweat. She forces a smile. Maybe Suya doesn't actually want to cause any trouble. As she speaks, Xiaoya clenches her fist. She frowns, clearly annoyed. But as for someone like Hanyu, forget it. That ice-cold face. So detached from the mortal world. She's just hard to be around. The moment she's done speaking, Suya turns to Qing Xiao and slams her hand on the table. "Spit it out. What exactly did you do to her? She's been looking for you constantly these past few days." Yuan Ji brings a hand to her chin, stroking it thoughtfully. Hanyu is the sect master's personal disciple. She's been in seclusion for a long time and rarely comes out. Her being involved with our junior brother is strange, to say the least. Let me tell you, here's the deal. Our little Chio has a way with the ladies. And Hanyu fell for his charms, too. Before she can finish, Qing Chio lunges forward, but Yun Yun covers his mouth and scolds him. "Senior sister, watch what you're saying." Hearing this, Yuan Ji's face darkens. Her irritation is obvious. "I didn't realize our junior brother was so capable to conquer even Hanyu, and you even met up in the woods. I wonder what you two were plotting." Qing Chio crosses his arms in an X, protesting fiercely. "That's a lie. It's all made up. We barely even know each other." Wow, little Chio is quite the denier. Honestly, Sister Yuan, Xiaoya, you two should be careful too. Hearing those words, Qing Chio flushes with anger. His eyes go wide. He shouts through gritted teeth, "Senior sister, can you please stop right now?" Then, Qing Chio calms down a bit. He glances over, suspicious. Wait a minute. Why did senior sister tell those two to be careful? Could it be that she's figured something out? Yuan Ji presses a finger to her lips and gently strokes her chin. Her voice drops. "Junior sister, we need to train harder and get stronger, and keep a closer eye on our junior brother." Tanga nodded, agreeing instantly. "You're right, senior sister. There's no way we're letting Qing Chio fall into Han Yu's hands." With that settled, the two sisters looked at each other and beamed, happily serving each other food. Watching them, Qin Xiu couldn't help but think, how do they get along so well? At first, I was worried we wouldn't be able to close the distance between us. But who would have thought the three of us would end up having so much fun together? As this thought crossed his mind, Qin Xiu froze. His eyes widened. He placed a hand over his heart and grinned with newfound confidence. What a surprise. The scene shifts to the Chuan Terrace on Guiyuan Immortal Mountain, where a few disciples were sitting around, chatting. One of them, holding a cultivation manual, said secretively, "Hurry and save a good seat. Today's lecture is on a really powerful spiritual art. Master it, and your combat prowess will skyrocket." Just then, a portly disciple waved them over. "Hey, brothers, get over here. I've got something really interesting to show you." Hearing that, the group turned to him. "What is it? A novel? What's with all the secrecy?" The portly disciple revealed a list and chuckled. "This is way more exciting than any novel. It's the list of the most beautiful women in our sect. I had to go through a lot of trouble to borrow this from a senior brother. Come on, take a look." The whole group immediately crowded around. The beauty list ranked Hanyu as number 1, as expected of the sect master's personal disciple. She's ranked first, but there's no picture. Isn't that a bit of an exaggeration? The portly disciple put a hand to his forehead and chuckled good-naturedly. "Are you kidding me? Hanyu's top spot is completely deserved." He then looked up and declared with a booming laugh, "Her beauty is otherworldly, and her cultivation is profound. I heard she reached the foundation establishment stage just 2 years after joining the sect. Her innate talent is incredible. Her looks just keep getting more perfect. Give her another 10 years, and her name will shake the entire Kanglan domain." A skinny disciple's eyes went wide. "I heard a senior brother talking about her, too. He said he saw her once and was so stunned he couldn't sleep all night. Guess that means we'll never get a chance to see her." The portly disciple sighed, closing his eyes. "There's nothing we can do. She's one of the sect master's personal disciples now. She's completely out of our league. But I've heard that Fairy Hanyu has been leaving the mountain more often recently. So maybe there's hope." With that said, he pointed back to the list. The second name on the list is Wan Ji, the head disciple of Qing Yu Peak's elder. She's the mature, older sister type, a slender figure, a stunning physique, and a pair of long, slender legs that'll make your heart skip a beat. In terms of looks and figure, she might even surpass Hanyu, not to mention that she's totally stacked. Hearing this, another disciple, standing nearby, stroked his chin. "So you're saying they're only illustrations? We can't see what they really look like. What a damn shame." In third place is a new disciple, Ling Xiaoya. Rumor has it her innate talent is on par with Hanyu's. She has an extraordinary aura. She just joined the sect and already made it into the top 3. Ling Xiaoya, huh? Isn't she the one with the triple spiritual roots? The girl with that gorgeous ink-black hair? Oh yeah, I remember her. Too bad she's got that childhood friend with the mutated spiritual root. You know, the useless one. That's why she ended up joining Qing Yu Peak, since not many people are there. So who's next on the list? The next one is also a female disciple from Qing Yu Peak, Mu Yun, with a face that is absolutely adorable. Her innocent and sweet aura, her gentle softness that melts your heart. You almost have seen her when she first joined the sect. That much is obvious. When the disciples saw the image of Mu Yun, they all stared, jaws dropped, and cried out in unison, "I can't believe she's hiding a chest like that." As Mu Ding was about to announce 5th place on the beauty rankings, another male disciple cut him off. "Buyin, hey, has anyone noticed? Qing Yu Peak only has 3 female disciples, and yet all 3 of them made the list. The concentration of beauties over there is insanely high. I want to join Qing Yu Peak too. That one Qing Xiu is really one smart guy. You got to respect him for that." With that said, the disciple, Mu Qiu, put away the ranking list. He raised a hand and sneered. "What's so impressive about Wen Qing Xiu? Elder Quan Ji is the one backing him. He barely pays any attention to his own disciples. On the path of cultivation, strength is all that matters, especially for a man. The more agitated he became, the more you must focus on training. But that one Qing Xiu is actually incredibly strong. He even defeated Su Xiu, the second elder's direct disciple. His wind spirit root is only strong in the early stages. Besides, senior brother Su was just going easy on him. In a few years, that spirit root advantage of his will fade. It'll be a miracle if Ling Xiaoya is still with him by then. So, remember this, everyone. Cultivation is the true path. Once we become golden core grand cultivators, what's to worry about finding a beautiful Dao companion? That actually makes a lot of sense. As they were talking, Qingxiu walked up behind Mu and spoke. Excuse me, is this seat taken? Oh, sure. You can sit right here. Mu replied cheerfully. But when he turned around, his eyes shot open in shock. It's when Qingxiu. He froze. Qingxiu pointed to his own face. You know me? Hearing this, Mu turned away. He waved his hand dismissively. Nope, this seat's taken. Go sit in the back. At that, Qingxiu turned and walked away. He thought to himself, I don't really need to be in this class, but I gotta show up for the credits. Seeing Qingxiu take a seat on the other side of the room, the disciples burst out laughing. Huh, look at him. The back of the class is right where he belongs. Whatever. Let's get back to it. A male disciple grimaced and pointed toward the front. Hey, look, that long-legged girl is Luo Yuanji. Hearing that, two other disciples craned their necks to see. Wait a minute. Isn't this a class for new disciples? What's senior sister Luo doing here? And isn't that sweet-looking girl next to her Yunyan? Ling Xiaoya is here too. I heard she was in seclusion to break through to the next realm. She must have succeeded. A chubby disciple glanced around. A moment later, from the rankings, 3 of the top 4 beauties are all here. Another disciple folded his arms and looked around. He mused. What a coincidence. I wonder if Hanyu, the one ranked number 1, will show up too. The 3 girls walked in and scanned the entire classroom. Junior brother, what are you doing hiding all the way in the back? Do you even need to ask, senior sister? He's always looking for a way to slack off. Everyone knows that trick. With that, Xiaoya marched right up to Qingxiu. She pointed a finger right in his face, her expression furious, before Yuanji could stop her. But Qingxiu just formed a heart with his hands, flashing a roguish smile that made both girls blush. Both Yuanqi and Xiaoya thought, this guy has some nerve, flirting so openly in front of everyone. Just as she was about to turn back, she noticed the curious stares from a group of male disciples. She whispered, a little worried, there are too many people behind us. We should find another spot. The moment she finished speaking, a male disciple propped himself up and stood. Fairies. He stepped aside, pointing to the empty seats. He smiled warmly. Are you here for the lecture? There's still room over here. Please have a seat. Hearing this, Yuan Qi's expression darkened. Her eyes grew cold. She was suspicious. These guys are obviously trying to hit on us. But she didn't want to make a scene in front of Qingxiu and the other disciple, or cause him any trouble. While she was still hesitating, Xiaoya suddenly grabbed Yuan Qi's hand. Senior sister. Senior sister. She beamed. This spot is great. We'll have a perfect view. It's way too cramped in the back. There's barely enough room to sit. Hearing this, the chubby disciple clenched his fists in delight. His face lit up. That's right. It's comfortable here, and you'll have a clear view of the instructor's movements. Yuan Qi's eyes widened as she looked ahead. To be fair, Xiaoya had a point, but still. Just then, the group of male disciples all shuffled over to make room for them. This should be just enough space. Please have a seat, all 3 of you. Getting to sit with one of the ranked beauties. What a sight. And so Xiaoya and Yuan Qi made their way to the empty row of seats at the front. As soon as they sat down, Xiaoya turned around. Waving her hand, she called out, Qingxiu, hurry up and come sit with us. Hearing this, the jaws of the male disciples dropped. Their eyes went wide with disbelief. Qingxiu glanced over at Xiaoya, a look of pure innocence on his face. He wondered to himself, didn't they just say there was no room? How are there so many empty seats now? With that thought, he stood up and walked over to the girls. Excuse me, coming through. Qingxiu then strode forward. He placed a hand on the desk and shot a meaningful glance at Mu. This really is a nice seat. The view is unobstructed, and the desk is spotless. Hearing that, Mu ground his teeth, fuming in silence. A tempting plate of fruit appeared on the desk. Xiaoya sat down and picked up a slice of tangerine. Here, open wide. Qingxiu obediently turned his head. He opened his mouth and accepted the sweet tangerine slice from Xiaoya's hand. As he was chewing, Yuan Qi spoke up. Junior brother. Qing Qiu immediately turned to her. Yuan Qi was standing there, holding a sweet pastry. She smiled brightly. I have some candied fruit here. Would you like to try some, junior brother? It's a little sticky, so don't touch it. Let me feed it to you. Hearing this, Qing Qiu leaned in, opening his mouth to receive the sweet treat from his senior sister's hand. Thank you for your kindness, senior sister. Seeing this, He Mu, who was sitting behind them, slammed his hand on the table in a rage. His eyes were bulging. I'm the one who wiped that table spotless, and I'm the one who prepared that fruit. Qing Qiu finished swallowing the candied fruit. He smiled and said, Tastes pretty good. They're both sweet. You should come try a bite, too. The chubby disciple watched the scene unfold. He clutched his head, feeling like it was about to explode. How did my life get so tragic? Why? It's not like I'm ugly or anything. Qing Qiu glanced back and asked, Suya, weren't you supposed to be in seclusion for your breakthrough? What are you doing here today? Hearing this, Suya rested her chin on her hand. Her eyes half-lidded. I was planning to cultivate, but then I saw you were coming, so I wanted to come along. With that, she turned to him, her cute face blushing. I wanted to sit next to you. Women and their excuses. It's so obvious she's just looking for a reason to get close to me. With that thought, Qing Qiu turned to look at Wan Ji. And what about you, senior sister? You must have mastered this spirit art a long time ago. Wan Ji brushed her hair back, offering a faint smile. This spirit art is quite simple for me, yes. But I was worried you'd be lonely, so I came to keep you company. She then held her hands out, a sly smile playing on her lips. Actually, I was afraid you might have trouble with it. You can ask me if you don't understand something. Saying one thing, but meaning another. She's obviously trying to get my attention, too. Huh, women. Qing Qiu crossed his arms, leaning back in his seat. He then turned to ask Yun, little senior sister, what brings you here? Honestly, I've been studying this technique for years, and I still don't get it. So I attend every time this class is held. Just then, several technique scrolls were placed on the desk. A man with a stern expression looked down at the students. That boy who was quiet a moment ago. He seems so focused. He must have prepared thoroughly for today's lesson. With that thought, he clasped his hands behind his back. He raised one hand and announced, Today, we will be covering the second grade spirit art, the violent flame art. This is a considerably powerful technique. It will serve you well, even into the late foundation establishment stage. I expect your full attention. With that, the man channeled a powerful stream of spirit energy into his palm. The violent flame art guides energy through the upper body, seals the spirit meridians, and opens the acupoints. Spiritual power gradually gathers in the arm, radiating an intense, burning heat. Qing Qiu listened from his seat, a contemplative expression on his face. His movements are skillful, but he's only scratched the surface. After a moment of reflection, Qing Qiu tilted his head back, raising a hand to cover a yawn. This elder probably doesn't even grasp the profound secrets of this spirit art. The movements, they seem simple, but their true meaning is deeply hidden. It's just so tedious. I can't even be bothered to watch. Ugh, so boring. Junior brother, what are you doing? Qing Qiu replied softly. This lecture is just so dry. I already know all of this. It's boring. Hearing this, Wan Ji propped an elbow on the desk, leaning in with a little smile. Oh, is that so? In that case, how about I keep you entertained, junior brother? Qing Qiu looked at her face, and his own cheeks began to flush. His heart skipped a beat. Senior sister, she's truly beautiful. Second to none. His gaze inadvertently drifted down to her long legs. He couldn't help but gulp. Wan Ji noticed. Hey, she said, a little flustered. Hey, where exactly are your eyes wandering, junior brother? Qing Qiu awkwardly scratched his cheek, forcing a smile. I was just admiring your legs. They're really beautiful. Seriously, best legs of the year. Hearing this, Wei gave a little lift of her skirt, showing off her long, slender legs. Qing Qiu thought to himself, she knows I'm looking, and she's showing them off on purpose. Is she trying to provoke me? He then held up a finger and said, a garter would make them even more perfect. With your fair, smooth skin, a silver one would be even more alluring. White suits you better than black. It's more enchanting. An image of her wearing a red dress and black stockings flashed through his mind. What a shame. Before he could finish, Wei cut him off. Are you dense, junior brother? That's basically lingerie. I can't wear something like that outside. But in her heart, she thought, if you wanted to see, I might consider it. This fool. Then, she tugged on Qin Shio's sleeve and whispered softly, Junior brother, come closer. Let me tell you a little secret. Qin Shio looked at her suspiciously. What is it? If you're not being serious, I don't want to hear it. Wei brought her lips close to his ear and breathed. I want to be with you day and night so we can practice making those sound together. At her words, Qin Shio shot back. His face beat red. Sweat beaded on his forehead. A tease like that is too much to handle. I'm supposed to be an innocent man. This is enough to throw my Tao heart into chaos. Seeing his flustered expression, Wei burst out laughing. Huh, so you do have a weak spot, after all. Ziya sat quietly in a corner, her eyes following their every move. Suddenly, an idea struck her, and so, while Qin Shio was still trying to regain his composure. What's wrong, Qin Shio? Are you all right? He forced his emotions down. Composing himself, he replied. It's nothing. I was just looking at you. Hearing that, Ziya's cheeks flushed a deep red. She nervously tucked a strand of hair behind her ear and said in a small voice, looking at me? What's so special about me? Qin Shio answered frankly. Every single part of you is beautiful. His words struck her heart like an arrow. Flustered, she pushed Qin Shio away and turned her head aside. You're just saying things. In that brief moment of carelessness, Ziya's hand accidentally brushed against a very sensitive spot. She snatched her hand back in shock. A cold sweat broke out on her skin. He's having a reaction. Does this mean he has feelings for me? This is great. He's finally moved. Meanwhile, Qin Shio's face was deathly pale. His hair was soaked with sweat. Ziya, were you just touched? It was too much. Right after that, Qin Shio collapsed onto the table. His entire body trembled. The two of them had to desperately absorb spiritual energy to resist the crushing pressure that held them in place. A little while later, Yuan Ji turned to Xiaoya, holding a spoon. What is it, senior sister? Yuan Ji gently fed Xiaoya a bite of cake. I made this before I came. Try some, junior sister. Xiaoya leaned down and took a bite. Her eyes went wide. This is amazing. She then scooped up another spoonful and offered it to Qin Shio. You should try some too, junior brother. Feeding you right in front of Xiaoya would be so awkward. Offering some to her first makes this feel more natural. After feeding Qin Shio, Wei Ji helps herself to a spoonful as well. Next time, a little more sugar would make it even better. She slowly pulls the spoon from her lips. The girl gives a faint, knowing smile. Busted. In that instant, Qin Shio's face turns bright red. He can't hide his embarrassment. Sitting behind them, Yunyun rests her chin on her hand, lost in thought. That fruit plate looks so good. I want some too. But it's not like it would do me any good. At that thought, Yunyun hangs her head in despair. It's not the steady weight gain that's so scary. What's really torturing me is how that part of me just won't stop growing. She slams a hand on the table. Tears stream down her face. I've listened to the Heavenly Principle chant 4 times now, and I still don't get it. I'm really falling behind. Yunyun's eyes widen as she stares straight ahead. That's right. Qin Shio has always seemed impossibly deep. I bet his real strength is far greater than what he lets on. If I can get on his good side, maybe he'll share his secrets. He might even be willing to teach me. Having made up her mind, she gently places her hands on his shoulders. How about a massage? Startled, Qin Shio glances back. So this is what cultivation is all about. It's pretty nice. I never realized before. This feels amazing. I'd gladly suffer like this in my next life, too. Suddenly, Qin Shio's expression darkens. His eyelid twitches. It feels like something is about to happen. Or am I just imagining things? But as he pictures himself being pampered by 3 beautiful women, he decides to just relax and enjoy the moment. The stout guy sitting behind them can only bite his lip in fury. I gave him that seat. I'm the one who prepared the fruit. And now I have to sit here and watch this sickeningly sweet display. He slams his hand on the desk, gritting his teeth. Am I a complete idiot? Why do I do all the work just for him to reap the benefits? As if my life wasn't pathetic enough. It's not just that he's showing off for her. He's forcing all of us to eat their dog food. This is unbelievable. The stout guy and 2 other male disciples are so furious they want to scream. I'm so jealous I could die. This is infuriating. As they clutch their heads in agony, A figure suddenly materializes in midair. A sword flies into view. With a decisive thud, she lands on the ground. In a flash, her sword is back in its sheath. Her cold gaze sweeps across the room. Her expression is like ice. The male instructor turns and sees her. No way. Hanyu, what is she doing here? Is she here to check up on me? The moment the disciples below see Hanyu, they all stand up, buzzing with excitement. They whisper amongst themselves. It's really Fairy Hanyu. She totally lives up to her rank as number one. Her presence is on a completely different level. Hanyu takes a seat in the row, just above Qin Xiao. The stout guy clenches his fists, muttering. The four great beauties of her sect are finally all in one place. She glances back down at him and asks softly, We meet again. How has your cultivation been lately? Before Qin Xiao can even answer, Xiaoyu spins around. Her face is tense, but she forces a smile. Qin Xiao, she's here for you again. Wei Ji crosses her arms. She says bluntly, Junior brother, you really have a way with women, don't you? Even she's following you around now. I guess that makes us the third wheels. Qin Xiao gently places a hand on Hanyu's shoulder. He blurts out, Senior Sister Hanyu. Yes. A bead of sweat drips down his temple. He closes his eyes, trying to compose himself. You're a really good person. But as Hanyu turns her head, something fell off to her. Xiaoya and Wanji wouldn't stop shoving food into Qin Xiao's mouth, while secretly glancing at Hanyu. Eat up, Qin Xiao. Junior brother, this one's tasty too. They took turns stuffing food into his mouth. He could barely swallow. He groaned internally. Oh gods, I'm gonna choke. Hanyu watched the scene unfold. Her eyes widened in surprise. Then she too took out her snack box, picking up an adorable bear-shaped cookie, innocently mimicking the two girls, and brought the cookie to Qin Xiao's mouth. Tears sprang to his eyes. He groaned inwardly. Seriously? One after another, and now she's joining in? I can't take this pressure. Qin Xiao slumped onto the desk, choking and coughing. The noise made the lecturer glance over. His face, annoyed. Then, immediately, he saw the girls gathered around Qin Xiao, fussing over him. One patting his chest, another rubbing his shoulders, and another wiping the corner of his mouth. The male lecturer gritted his teeth. His face darkened considerably. He fumed inwardly. This isn't cultivation. This is pure indulgence. With that thought, he slammed his hand down on the table. He spun around and bellowed. What in the blazes do you think you're doing? Hanyu was wiping Qin Xiao's mouth with a bear-shaped handkerchief. He broke out in a cold sweat. He mumbled inwardly. Big sister Hanyu, is she trying to get me killed? These embroidered handkerchiefs are usually betrothal tokens, given to a fiancé, and she's using it to wipe my mouth. But Hanyu paid him no mind. She continued wiping, asking softly, Does it hurt? Next time, eat slower. Qin Xiao turned his face away. His complexion had gone ashen. This isn't concern. More like driving someone to an early grave. He quickly grabbed Xiaoya's hand, trying to divert attention. Xiaoya, this orange from your hands is so perfect, I don't want to ruin it by eating it. You won't be mad at me, will you? Xiaoya's heart melted at his words. She lowered her head, blushing shyly. And no, silly, what are you talking about? So many people are watching. This idiot, it's the first time he's ever said anything so sweet to me. After soothing Xiaoya, Qin Xiao turned to Wanji. First senior sister. Before, I never truly understood happiness. But now I get it. Oh, tell me then. Qin Xiao leaned closer and took Wanji's hand. Happiness is having someone make sweet treats just for you, and then feed them to you themselves. I never knew what happiness felt like. But because of you, I've found such joy. Wanji immediately pulled her hand back and turned her face away. Her face was bright red. He doesn't have to be so ostentatious. I'll make food for you later too. Qin Xiao gazed at her flustered face and gave a faint smile. Qin Xiao. Oh no, junior brother. Don't look at me like that. She couldn't help but feel a little shy, having dealt with his two presumptive fiancés. Qin Xiao cupped his hands respectfully towards Hanyu and said, Thank you, senior sister. Xiaoya and my senior sister are already taking good care of me. There's no need for you to trouble yourself any further. From behind, Yin propped her chin in her hand, staring intently at Qin Xiao. Qin Xiao truly is quite the smooth operator. He's definitely the top male disciple of Qingyu Peak. Then she suddenly startled. Wait, Isn't he the only male disciple on Qingyu Peak? Xiaoya gently held Qing Qiu's hand, her voice filled with worry. It was all my fault, my carelessness. Are you still feeling unwell? Qing Qiu smiled faintly. Not bad. My emergency medical knowledge really came in handy. Yun, watching the scene unfold, stroked her chin thoughtfully. This is my chance to gain favor with Qing Qiu. It'll be more convenient to ask her about spirit techniques later on. With that thought, she moved closer too, rubbing Qing Qiu's shoulder apologetically. I'm sorry, I used too much force just now. I'll be more careful next time. Qing Qiu let out a sigh. He broke out in a cold sweat. I think I finally made it out of that one. This is more nerve-wracking than being surrounded by tribulation masters. Watching the scene unfold, the two disciples below them had grim expressions. Unbelievable. One of them muttered, "Is she really falling for that act?" And in that moment, he finally understood why he was still single. Meanwhile, in another row of seats, a male and female disciple were talking. The female disciple spoke shyly. When are you going to say things like that to me? Come with me to the library to copy scriptures tonight, okay? I'm scared to go by myself. Han Yu turned her head, her sharp gaze locking onto Qing Qiu, who could only offer a stiff smile in return. He didn't dare say a word. The two male disciples behind them went pale with rage. Their hearts burned with jealousy. This guy must have saved the entire world in his past life to catch the eyes of the sex four great beauties. His luck with women is just infuriating. Up on the dais, the male instructor gripped the technique scroll in his hand. His stomach churned with irritation. I've never seen anything like this. They're blatantly using my lecture hall for their own amusement, and I'm forced to watch their lovey-dovey crap and pretend everything is fine. A group of elite disciples, soon to become deacons and elders themselves. Having to witness this pathetic display is truly a bitter pill to swallow. At that thought, the instructor was so furious he let out a sharp grunt. He pointed a finger and roared, "You boy, on your feet. Now!" Hearing the shout, Qing Qiu immediately shot up. His gaze was stern as he stared straight ahead. The instructor glared, his voice dripping with severity. "Who are you? Which mountain peak are you from? And which elder is responsible for teaching you?" Before Qing Qiu could answer, two other male disciples eagerly interjected. "That's Yin Qing Qiu of Qingyu Peak. He's Elder Quan Ji's disciple. He's been fooling around and showing off this entire class. It's incredibly distracting. You have to do something about him. As long as he's here, he's going to ruin the class for everyone." Hearing this, the instructor's face grew dark. His voice seethed with anger. "So you're Yin Qing Qiu, the one with the mutated spirit root, the one who just defeated the direct disciples of two elders. You skipped class for over a week, and the moment you return, you cause this kind of disturbance? Do you think this lecture hall is your personal playground? A kid with a trash spirit root, and yet you have such insane luck with women. What in the world is so special about him, anyway?" The instructor pointed right in Qing Qiu's face. He bellowed, "You're lazy. You have no ambition whatsoever. A disciple like you is nothing but a disgrace to this sect." The disciples below, in unison, roared their agreement. The deacon is absolutely right. This guy is an embarrassment to all us new disciples. I'm ashamed to be in the same class as him. He's disrupting the entire class. I can't concentrate on my studies because of him. Man, I wish I had a wife like that, too. Qing Qiu stood perfectly still, silently enduring the barrage of accusations. He wondered what he'd done wrong. Why did everyone hate him so much? And why did his own heart feel such a strange thrill from all this? When he turned back around, the girls had all looked away. None of them would spare him so much as a glance. Suddenly, the world around him felt utterly empty. Just then, a male disciple caught Wan Ji looking in his direction, and his face instantly flushed red. He cheered inwardly. "She's looking at me. She's so beautiful." The deacon saw this and scowled. His expression, so irritating. These new disciples are so pathetic, still mooning over that couple. Han Yu crossed her arms. Her eyes flickered toward the instructor, a hint of displeasure in her gaze. Han Yu's face was breathtaking. Everyone stole glances at her. She was as beautiful as a goddess. The instructor slapped his thigh, snapping himself out of his daze. "I'm the instructor here. Han Yu is on a mission from a Su sect to evaluate the new disciples and their instructors. If I screw this up and she reports me, I'm done for." With that, he strode down from the platform. He jabbed a finger in Qing Chio's face and shouted, "In all my years in this sect, I have never seen anyone as insolent as you." Wan Ji and Xiaoya watched with worry. An instructor's word directly impacted a new disciple's final evaluation score. A score that was too low could land someone in the menial labor division. The instructor smirked viciously. "You will write a 10,000-word self-criticism. Have it on the sect master's desk by tomorrow, or you'll face the consequences." Qin Xiao remained completely unfazed. Spreading his hands, he replied calmly, "Instructor, there's no need to be so angry. The truth is, I've already memorized the entire Spirit Fist art." A disciple next to Xiaoya sneered. "He's just showing off for the girls. Memorized it already? What a joke." The instructor's brow furrowed as he stared Qing Xiao down. "So, you claim you've memorized it? Then recite it for me. Every last word. Right now." This manual is only taught months after initiation. He skipped so many classes, yet he dares make such a claim? Now, I have a reason. To punish him properly. Qing Xiao just scratched his head and chuckled. "This isn't really the right place for that. But if you're so determined to test me, then bring it on. I'll give you a lesson you'll never forget." The instructor was seething. He pointed straight at Qing Xiao's face and roared, "You say you've memorized it, but you refuse to demonstrate? Do you take me for an idiot? Lying to an elder is a serious crime. If you can't back up your words, you will be severely punished. I really have memorized it. I'm just feeling a bit tired today. I'd like to rest, if you don't mind." At that, the instructor's lips twisted into a cruel smile. "You expect me to believe that? Feeling tired is a pathetic excuse. Fine, we'll see how you feel tomorrow on the sparring stage. If you pass, I'll give you full credit for the course. But if you fail, you will automatically fail every single course I teach." Qing Xiao raised a trembling hand. Isn't that a little too harsh? How about we change the stakes? If I fail, I'll clean the latrines." The instructor scoffed. "You want to bargain with me with such a menial task? What happened to all that confidence? Scared now, are we? You were acting so tough just a minute ago." He spread his arms with a wicked grin. "All right, let's add your condition. If you fail, not only will you be failed in all my courses, you will also clean the latrines. But if you pass, you'll get your credit, and I will clean the latrines as my apology." Hearing this, tears seemed to well up in Qin Xiao's eyes. He glanced over, his expression full of worry. Before he could say another word, the instructor turned to leave. Waving his hand dismissively, he announced, "It's settled then. Class dismissed." Later, in the training yard, a heavy-set disciple and his gang glared at Qin Xiao with simmering rage. "Stop staring. If we ignore it, we'll be mad for a week. But if we keep looking at him, we'll be pissed off for a whole month. Come on, let's go. He's going to get what's coming to him tomorrow." Hearing that, the fatty glanced back. He let out a triumphant laugh. Serve him right. The next morning at the training grounds, the instructor watched from afar as a female disciple practiced her forms. The girl had a fit physique and a cute face. Every punch and kick she threw crackled with powerful energy. Watching the display, the instructor nodded in approval. He thought to himself with admiration, "Her talent is quite impressive." He then walked over to her. Raising a hand, he asked, "Sway, are you running into any difficulties? Senior brother, you would be happy to help." The girl hurried to bow, but he stopped her. "No need for such formalities." And then he flashed a charming smile. "If you run into any trouble, just let me know. I'll be happy to help." As they were talking, the girl suddenly unleashed a powerful move. An intense burst of energy. A shockwave echoed through the area. She smiled brightly, looking at her hands. "Amazing. I've finally mastered it. Thank you, senior brother. If it weren't for your guidance, I would have been stuck for a long time." "Ha! That was all you." The steward gave a faint smile. "You're incredibly talented, junior sister. Mastering the Raging Flame art this quickly is truly astonishing." The smitten girl clasped her hands together, her face beaming. "Really? Am I really that talented? As a steward of the sect, why would I ever lie to you?" He replied, his voice full of conviction. "In fact, you're the most brilliant new disciple I've ever met. You might even be on par with Ling Xiaoya." The girl bowed her head in gratitude. The steward thought to himself. Newbies really are easy to fool. A few sweet words, and she lets her guard down completely. She'll be mine in no time. He then made his move. "To celebrate your achievement, let me treat you to dinner tonight. What do you say? The innocent girl, suspecting nothing, nodded happily. Okay. Thank you, senior brother. Ha! Hook, line, and sinker. He rejoiced internally. But just then, an unexpected surge of power erupted nearby. Dust and smoke filled the air. Awesome. The raging flame art worked perfectly. With that, she ran straight for Qin Qiu, leaving him stunned. Qin Qiu, the raging flame art you taught me was a success. You're the best. Yin Yin shouted. Let him go. You're going to suffocate him. Look, his nose is bleeding. Qin Qiu flinched. Sorry, little bro. Let me wipe that for you. Oh, wow. That's a lot of blood. Yin Yin said with a laugh, her eyes sparkling with innocence. Seeing this, the other girl was shocked. Senior brother, didn't you say I was amazing? What's all this? The steward scratched his head awkwardly. Junior sister, there's no doubt about your talent. That's Mu Yun. She's been in the sect for a long time. It's only natural that her cultivation is higher than yours. After hearing this, the beauty glanced over, full of doubt. Is that true? You're not lying to me, are you, senior brother? The steward quickly held up his hands, forcing a smile. How could I ever lie to someone as cute as you? Come on, let's get back to practice. Just as he finished speaking, another earth-shaking explosion went off nearby. Suyo appeared. Her eyes were fixed on the cloud of smoke, a satisfied smile on her face. Qin Qiu's method really is powerful. The casting speed is so much faster, and the power is on a whole other level. The girl's eyes went wide, unable to believe what she was seeing. You said I was on par with Ling Xiaoya. So what about this? Explain yourself. Ling Xiaoya's talent really is on another level. Even I've only managed to master the Raging Flame art to this degree. Ling Xiaoya has a fire spirit root. But you have a wood spirit root. Right now, your power can't compare to a fire spirit root. But if you train your wood spirit root the right way, you'll leave her in the dust. The girl crosses her arms. Her sharp gaze is fixed on him. I have a feeling you're full of it. Are you trying to trick me again? No, of course not. How would I dare lie to you? I'm a sect deacon. Damn it. This isn't working. I need to find a new target. Or maybe I can use a few weaker junior sisters as a smokescreen to fool her. Suddenly, an even larger explosion erupts behind them. From within the smoke, Qin Qiu emerges. He casually wipes his mouth. With a sly glint in his eye, he speaks. Now that's how you fight. You senior sisters should go back to the drawing board. Hearing his words, Suya and Yun Yun clench their fists. Their eyes burn with determination as they stare at Qin Qiu. The naive girl on the side trembles. She blurts out, Senior brother, is Qin Qiu a fire spirit root user? I thought his talent was supposed to be ordinary. How is he already so much stronger than me? The deacon's face drains of color. His eyes go wide. Beads of sweat form on his brow. She whirls on him, furious. You liar. Have dinner. You just wanted to eat me alive. You wolf. Struck speechless, the deacon's face goes white. He raises his hands in surrender. His face is pale. Junior sister, wait. Listen to me. It's not what you think. He trembles with rage. He trembles. Gritting his teeth, he curses internally. Yin Qin Qiu. That bastard. How dare he ruin this for me? The standard violent flame art only detonates on impact, but it explodes mid-air. It has to be an advanced spirit art. He's obviously doing this just to mess with me. He clenches his fist. He rounds on Qin Qiu, yelling, You! I know you can pull off an even stronger technique. You're clearly not even winded. Use the wind-breaking slash. Now, show everyone what you can do. Qin Qiu sighs dramatically. To be honest, I'm not really feeling my best today. I can't stop thinking about those two gorgeous women. I'm completely exhausted. Having your essence drained by two at once, it's a lot to handle. Facing the deacon's glare, he grins slyly. I don't care if you're not feeling it. I've already given you a day. He points to the training posts and bellows. Do it, right now. If you fail, I'll have you expelled from this course entirely. Hurry up. Stop wasting my time. Fine. I'll put on a little show. Qin Qiu steps onto the demonstration platform. He lowers his hands, gathering a powerful current of spirit energy. The deacon's eyes widen in disbelief. His shock is evident. How is he able to refine his spirit energy to such a degree? That's a level of control I've only ever seen from the elders. A disciple in the back stares, his face serious. He has 17 strands of qi wrapped around his arm. The standard windbreaking slash only needs 7 to work. 14 is considered the absolute limit. And yet he's gathered 17 strands. Can he even keep all that energy from dissipating? Is he really going to try and shatter that wooden post? If he can actually control all 17 of those strands, then Guiwedao, will eat that training post. Qin Xiu thrusts his hands forward. The 17 strands of energy converge, swarming the wooden post. The streams of force flash past. In an instant, the post is shredded to splinters. The disciples stare, their eyes wide. They're completely stunned. A second-grade spirit fist art in actual combat, and 17 streams of it at once. Yuan Ji's eyes widened. She stared intently. Even after everything I saw yesterday, this is still hard to believe. Junior brother, what kind of person are you really? You're just too powerful. I remember when we were little, a badly injured old man brought Qingxiu to Ping'an Town. The locals said the old man possessed a very high-level spiritual energy. He might belong to a major clan or power. Wan Ji stroked her chin, a thoughtful look on her face. Were you always this extraordinary? After a moment, the thick dust began to settle. The scene became clear again. Yu Dao walked toward Qingxiu, his hands clasped behind his back. Cough, cough. He glanced over, beads of sweat on his face. His heart pounded. This all felt so unreal. This damn brat is clearly doing this just to spite me. Getting certified is one thing, but if I, the head steward, have to clean the toilets, there's no way I can let that happen. He composed himself and held out his hand, his expression severe. Hand over the 10,000-word self-criticism. If you don't have it, I have other ways of dealing with you. Just as he finished his thought, a portly man rushed over, clutching a stack of papers. Excuse me, let me through. The man held the stack of papers out respectfully to Yu Dao. Steward brother, here is Yun Qingqiu's self-criticism. Yu Dao took the stack of papers. His face instantly darkened. He gritted his teeth, sweat pouring down his forehead. He's already mastered the wind-breaking art, and he still wrote a self-criticism? This is incomprehensible. After flipping through them for a moment, it looked like there wasn't just one, but 5 full copies of the essay. Did he get 4 other people to write it for him? Qingxiu turned to Wan Ji behind him. Senior sisters, did you all write this for me? We were afraid you'd be too lazy to write it. Junior brother, it would be a huge mess if you got punished. So we stayed up all night to finish the 10,000 words. As she said this, Xiaoya blushed and hastily smoothed her hair. I thought you wouldn't write it either. I struggled all night to write 10,000 words and to think. Qingxiu stepped forward and placed a hand on Wan Ji's shoulder, smiling. Thank you, Xiaoya, and my other 2 senior sisters. You all worked so hard for my sake. Yu Dao stared at the essays. His face as black as charcoal. Do I really have to clean the toilets? How can I face the new disciples as a steward after this? He whipped his head around. Yin Qingxiu, you had girls write your self-criticism for you? Do you have no respect for sex rules? Qingxiu chuckled softly. It's just a piece of paper. I'm not disrespecting anyone. There's no need to shout. Yu Dao moved closer, jabbing a finger at Yuan Ji as he interrogated her. Is this Yun Qingqiu's self-criticism? Why did you all write it for him? Are you treating our rules like a joke? Yuan Ji replied calmly. Junior brother wrote his own. If we wrote one for him as well, that was our mistake. It was just a thoughtless gesture. Yu Dao's eyes bugged out as he roared. Who gave you permission to interfere? Are you a steward? You have no standing, yet you dare to intervene. I'll report this to the sectmaster and have you all dealt with. Yu Dao turned away with a sinister smile. None of you are getting away with this today. Yun Qingxiu, just you wait until you're exiled to the labor division. You'll see. At that, the young man's anger flared. His face darkened, and his eyes fixed on Yu Dao with a cold glare. Insult me, and I can let it slide. But I will not allow you to insult the people I care about. Yu Dao sneered. Go on, do it. Give me a reason to punish you. Suddenly, Han Yu appeared. Her sharp, cold gaze swept over the area. If writing it for him is a crime of sheltering, then I am guilty of sheltering him as well. Hearing this, the disciples in the back erupted into an uproar. Fairy Han Yu helped Yun Qingxiu write his self-criticism. The shock was palpable. For the sectmaster's own disciple to stoop to helping a new student, it raised a lot of questions. But before he could answer, Han Yu shot him a look and asked bluntly, all I need from you is a yes or a no. Yu Tao broke out in a cold sweat. Yutao denied it instantly. Of course not. Do you think I'm doing this because I'm the sect master's disciple and I'm playing favorites? Yutao's eyes went wide as he froze on the spot. He was speechless. Hanyu was known for being reclusive and rarely showed her face. And now, she was targeting him personally. What terrible luck. Hanyu raised a hand to her chin. Her gaze was solemn as she looked ahead. As a sect enforcer, the way she handled things commanded respect. Hearing this, Yutao quickly bowed his head in apology. I was incompetent. Please, Senior Han, I ask for your guidance. I'll be writing apology letters until my hand cramps up. Yutao's face fell. His heart was pounding with fear. The sect master dotes on Hanyu. If she complains about me to the sect master, I'm screwed. She stood there, arms crossed, looking down on him with a cold stare. If you want to play games, you have to face the consequences. At that, Yutao snapped to attention. He raised his hands in surrender. He forced himself to say, fine. Then he walked over and put a hand on Qin Chio's shoulder. Putting on a friendly voice, he said, Junior brother, that was an outstanding performance. Graduating with a perfect score. As for cleaning the Yuntai latrines, I'll take care of it. You're welcome to come and inspect my work anytime, Junior brother. And if you need anything in the future, just let me know. I'll let you off the hook for today, but I'll find a chance to get my revenge. There's no way I'm losing to some rookie. Qin Chio listened with a look of utter disdain. He gave a dismissive reply. Sure. Whatever you say, senior brother. Yutao clapped Qin Chio hard on the shoulder a few times. He let out a strained laugh. Haha, you're a reasonable guy, junior brother. That's definitely a threat. But I can't call him out on it. The punishment stands. Qin Chio brushed his hand off. Then he said, nonchalantly, there's one more thing I haven't clarified. Yutao's hands clenched into fists. He crossed his arms and replied, what is it? Go on, junior brother. Spit it out. Qin Chio gave a pleasant smile. It's not just the Yuntai latrines you have to clean. It's all of them in the entire sect. I didn't mention it earlier. So, I'm clarifying it now. Yutao's eyes bugged out, his jaw dropping in disbelief. The entire sect? You can't be serious, junior brother. There are hundreds of them. It would take years to clean them all. Qin Chio stood beside Hanyu. He crossed his arms, a smug smile on his face. So, senior brother, are you going to keep your promise? Yutao gritted his teeth. His face twisted with resentment. He felt like he was being pushed into a corner. The moment the words left his mouth, Hanyu unleashed a chilling aura that made Yutao tremble. Finally, he choked out the words. Fine. I'll clean them. Before he left, Qin Chio added a final jab. Oh, but you can skip the ones at Yinyu Peak. I'm afraid you'll get it dirty. No need to thank me, senior brother. As they watched Yutao walk off with a broom in one hand and a bucket in the other, the surrounding disciples erupted into a flurry of whispers. So Hanyu's really been won over by him. Being near him is suffocating. I'd rather be focusing on my cultivation. Qin Chio glanced over. His face went pale. He sensed that all hell was about to break loose. Behind him stood Wei Ji and Xiaoya. Their blood was boiling. Their faces had gone dark. They were radiating pure, killing intent. All Qin Chio could do was force a smile. I don't get why Hanyu would do that. We don't have any grudge against each other. So why drag me into this? Just then, Xiaoya stepped forward. She placed a hand on Qin Chio's shoulder. With a stern voice, Fairy Han has already written a 10,000-word self-reflection. Even number one beauty lent a hand. You must be so happy inside. Qin Chio quickly turned back, explaining in a panic. It's not like that. I swear, there's nothing going on. Please, just let me explain. Junior brother, don't say any more. Xiaoya and I understand everything. Yuan glanced over at him. A faint smile on her lips. Men, of course. Hearing this, Qin Chio froze. His jaw dropped as he thought. Understand what? Xiaoya put a hand to her chin, forcing a smile. Look, Fairy Han is looking right at you. That look in her eyes. So gentle. That vulnerable posture. I'm afraid only she is worthy of you. Xiaoya, and I don't want to get in the way. Qin Chio threw his hands up in panic, shouting, wait, this is all just a misunderstanding. He grabbed both of their hands, crying out, I've only met her a few times. There's nothing complicated going on like you think. He looked up to the heavens, sweat pouring down his face, yelling, Senior Sister Hanyu, please say something. I'm a dead man here. Hanyu glanced at Qin Chio, speaking calmly. It's true. I am quite fond of you. Could you come into the woods with me for a chat? Hearing this, Qing Xiao nearly coughed up blood. The woods again? You're just making things worse. That's it. I'm just going to burn this whole forest down. Xiaoya's face flushed with anger. She gritted her teeth. Senior sister. Let's go. Before she left, Yuan turned her head to add, you'd better handle this properly. I'll be waiting for the good news. And with that, the two girls walked away, leaving Qing Xiao standing there, stunned, utterly helpless. Yin tossed a trash bag aside, slamming the lid of the bin. Tell me, what's the proper punishment for a man like that? After they were gone, Hanyu walked over and gently tugged on Qing Xiao's sleeve. Her voice soft. Will you come into the woods with me? Qing Xiao turned to face her. He gave a slight nod. Fine. I'll follow you into the deep woods today and see what this is all about. A short while later, the two of them entered the forest together. Qing Xiao was on edge. Sweat beaded on his forehead. Is this a confession? If it really is, what am I supposed to say? He thought for a moment, then stopped walking, holding out a hand. Senior sister Hanyu, how about we talk in that pavilion over there? All right, she replied. The two of them began heading up the slope. Disciples who saw them began to whisper. Since when did Fairy Han find a partner? Along the way, she picked up a fallen peach blossom and tucked it into her hair. Once they reached the pavilion, Qing Xiao took a seat. He spoke first. If you have something to say, just say it. Hanyu sat across from him, a small smile on her face. Don't call me senior sister. I'm not that old. Who knows, I might even be younger than you. Qing Xiao scoffed internally. There's hardly anyone in this world older than me. So may I ask, what's your real age? She answered, I'm 15. What? 15? You don't look at all. Hearing this, Hanyu gently touched her chin. She looked surprised. What part of me doesn't? Qing Xiao looked her up and down. He blurted out, to have legs this long at 15. You're almost as tall as my senior sister. Hanyu then lifted her leg, raising her skirt to reveal a pair of fair thighs. It's probably because I'm diligent in practicing my movement techniques. Qing Xiao's face turned bright red. He quickly covered his nose. He thought to himself, gotta stay calm. Hanyu placed a hand on her own lovely cheek. She said softly, and my looks aren't bad either. I just prefer light makeup. Qing Xiao clenched his fists. The question slipped out. Then how'd your chest get so big? The moment the words left his mouth, he froze. Oh crap. I shouldn't have said that. But Hanyu wasn't angry at all and answered directly. I've never really paid attention. It's probably a side effect of the jade body art. It preserves one's beauty, so I guess a large bust isn't that strange. You're the first person to ever bring it up. Qing Xiao was completely stunned. He just stared dumbfounded. Anyone else would have slapped him by now, but Hanyu answered him with total seriousness. Her frankness reminded him of a certain disciple he knew. Dealing with a brute is one thing, but this innocent girl just leaves me at a total loss. Sister, did you really have to be so blunt? Hanyu stroked her chin, her eyes fixed on him. I'm younger than you. So, according to custom, I should be the one calling you brother. She tilted her head and said softly, Brother Qing Xiao. The moment he heard that, he threw his hands up, shaking his head frantically. Don't. I wouldn't dare. If my wife heard you call me that, I'd be a dead man for sure. She smiled reassuringly. Don't worry. I don't have any ill intentions toward you. Qing Xiao slowly calmed down, but still looked at her with suspicion. Hanyu clasped her hands. She said calmly, I find you agreeable, and if your mutated spirit root is properly nurtured, you have great potential. Besides, the time has come for me to find a Dao companion. Hearing that, Qing Xiao broke into a cold sweat. He held up his hands. Senior sister Hanyu, whatever it is, just say it. Please, stop scaring me. Hanyu nodded slightly. I'll get right to the point. He glanced at her. I wonder. They say all she does is cultivate in seclusion. Let's see what she's really getting at. Hanyu crossed her arms. Her expression turned serious. The Kanglan region recently issued a new mission. Have you heard about it? He replied. My senior sister mentioned it. For years, the demonic cultivator sects have been running rampant. To stop the chaos, the major powers of the region have joined forces to create the demon-slaying order. This mission is assigned to each sect, which then delegates it to its disciples. Anyone who excels in completing the demon-slaying order will not only be rewarded by their sect, but will also be honored by the entire Kanglan region. They even get a chance to enter ancient cultivation ruins jointly guarded by the great masters. to seek out incredible opportunities. On top of that, the demon-slaying order is also the standard used to rank the younger generation in the Kanglan region. Making it onto that list means instant fame. You could soar to the heavens overnight. Upon hearing this, Qin Xiu clasped his hands together. His voice was filled with excitement. Senior Sister Han, are you saying? The Quanyuan Sword Valley once held a prominent position in the Mu Prefecture, but we've been in decline for many years. No one's taken a notice on the board. If this drags on, another sect is going to snatch it up. I've been in this sect for 2 years. It's time to make my move. As they were talking, a waiter brought over the menu. But the one asking, what can I get for you two? Turns out, it's the goddess of our sect, Fairy Hanyu. Qin Xiu pointed to the menu. I'll have a cup of this. Earth leaf tea. Never tried it before. The waiter shot Qin Xiu a look of utter disdain. Scoffing. What a cheapskate, he thought. Serving the sect goddess this bottom-shelf garbage? As the waiter walked away, Qin Xiu leaned in and whispered, your ambitions are truly impressive, senior sister. I'm in awe, but what's any of this have to do with me? Hanyu's expression turned serious. She said bluntly, I want you on my team. She didn't beat around the bush, explaining that all rewards and merits would be split evenly. You'll be given a key role. A mutated dual spiritual root is rare, but it's also difficult to cultivate to its full potential. Hanyu took a sip of her tea. However, she said calmly, with dedicated support, the limitations of your spiritual roots can be overcome. Qin Xiu stared blankly ahead. So you're only after me because you feel sorry for my wasted potential? Hanyu glanced down at her teacup, her face pensive. I have a tri-spirit root of water, wood, and earth. You have a mutated water-wood root. With that, she leaned in close and placed her hand on Qin Xiu's chest. I possess a superior grade spiritual bloodline. If we cultivate together, we are guaranteed to reach a higher realm. Qin Xiu was silent for a beat before replying. Senior sister, surely you could find someone else with compatible roots. It doesn't have to be a mutated one. She answered bluntly. I don't like temporary cultivation partnerships. It's better to spend several months, or even a few years, training together. Hearing that, the color drained from Qin Xiu's face. He went pale. He thought, horrified. A few months? A few years? That sounds an awful lot like dual cultivation. Is she planning on draining my essence? Gods, you can never figure out what a woman is thinking. With that thought, he held up a hand. Your spiritual power is far too profound, and my cultivation is still low. I'm afraid I wouldn't be a suitable partner. Hanyu looked him straight in the eyes. You're not hard to look at, and you don't irritate me. Qin Xiu immediately pointed at his own face. Are you trying to say I'm handsome? You're a fan of this face, are you? I mean that your features are refined. Hearing this, Qin Xiu theatrically smoothed his hair. To think that I, a man who values strength above all, would be judged solely on my appearance. How truly vexing. Hanyu froze, completely unsure how to respond. She couldn't help thinking this man was utterly shameless. Qin Xiu calmly raised his teacup, a brilliant smile spreading across his face. Well, I can't deny you have excellent taste. He casually brought the cup to his lips. So, on your behalf, he said, taking a sip, I graciously accept the compliment. The moment the liquid hit his tongue, Qin Xiu froze. He slapped a hand over his mouth. What the hell? It was unbelievably bitter and foul. He slammed the teacup back on the table, wondering, is this tea spoiled? How can Hanyu drink this stuff so calmly? Her tolerance is on another level. While he was still reeling, Hanyu suddenly pushed a small, ornate box across the table toward him, staring at the wooden box. Qin Xiu was taken aback. He pointed at it. What's this? Hanyu calmly replied. A spirit ascension pill. It helps with breaking through cultivation bottlenecks. Hearing this, Qin Xiu's expression instantly soured. He thought to himself, a spirit ascension pill is an incredibly rare medicinal treasure. Only the major sects would have something like this. How did she get her hands on one? It was a gift from the sect master when I first joined. I have no use for it anymore. Since you need it, you should have it. Qin Xiu's face paled. He looked like he was about to cry. A third-grade pill, and she's just giving it away for free? A wave of complex emotions washed over him. Seeing he wasn't responding, Hanyu added, try using it during the trial hunt. What do you say? Qin Xiu stroked his chin. His gaze lowered in thought. I've never made one of these before, but I could take it back and study it. I don't like to be in anyone's debt. He took something from a box and said, "This is a clear heart elixir. It calms the spirit and prevents cultivation deviation." Hanyu's eyes widened when she saw it. She stared in astonishment. Nestled inside a jade box, it emitted a rich, intoxicating fragrance. Its value was even greater than her own third-grade pill. How could a new disciple possess something so precious? Then, Qing Xiu clasped his hands in a formal gesture. He stated frankly, "I'm not interested in the demonic realm order or the young prodigy rankings." With that, he rose to his feet. His voice was resolute. "My current life of cultivation is more than enough. It's getting late. I'll be taking my leave." "Wait." Qing Xiu turned back. "Is there anything else, senior sister Han?" Hanyu lifted her teacup. She asked softly, "My tea is gone. Why haven't you touched yours?" Qing Xiu stared down at his teacup. The color drained from his face. She downed that horribly bitter tea in a single go? That's impressive. He groaned internally. He then lifted the cup, squeezing his eyes shut. He forced a smile. Sweat beaded on his brow. I'll take it home to finish." With that, he snatched the cup and bolted for the door, waving a hasty goodbye on his way out. After he was gone, Hanyu gazed at the box left on the table, a flicker of curiosity in her eyes. Opening it, she found the elixir and several books. She gently picked one up and flipped it open. Her eyes immediately went wide. A bead of sweat trickled down her cheek. The contents made her face burn beet red. Her mind reeled, but she couldn't help but think, how intriguing. A little while later, Qing Xiu made his way back to the serene abode. He sighed as he walked. "It took everything I had to calm him down last time, and now they're both mad at me again. This time, it's going to be even harder to make things right. I swear, being this charming is a curse." The moment he arrived, Qing Xiu knocked on Yun Yun's door. He called out, "Senior Sister Yun. Senior Sister Yun." Yun Yun opened the door, her eyes wide with confusion. "Qing Xiu, weren't you with Hanyu? What are you doing back so soon?" "Senior Sister, please don't say things like that." Qing Xiu clutched his head, a pained look on his face. Yun Yun asked quickly, "Oh, I'm sorry. So what did you come here for? How are Xiaoya and eldest senior sister?" Qing Xiu asked urgently. They both went straight to their rooms after dinner. "Xiaoya isn't even cultivating. Wei won't even bathe with me." At those words, Qing Xiu froze. His eyes went wide. This is bad. He hurriedly left the room, calling back as he went, "Thanks, elder sister. I'll figure out a way to make it up to her." A short while later, Qing Xiu stopped outside Xiaoya's door. Before he could even knock, Xiaoya's voice drifted out from inside. "Come in." Qing Xiu pushed the door open and walked in, forcing a smile. "You're so clever. You knew it was me without even looking." Xiaoya shot him a cold glance. As she continued folding her clothes, "I thought you were staying out all night. I'm surprised you're back so soon." Qing Xiu quickly walked over, holding his hands out to explain. "How could I possibly stay away?" "Xiaoya, you've got it all wrong." Xiaoya shot to her feet, shoving Qing Xiu away. She yelled, "Don't touch me." She clenched her fists, her gaze sharp as a knife. Her voice was harsh. "You reek of Hanyu. Get away from me. Don't come any closer." Qing Xiu put on a pitiful expression. He held his hands out to her, his voice softening. "Xiaoya, please, don't misunderstand." He gently touched her cheek. His voice was laced with sincerity. "There's really nothing between me and Hanyu. Look how pale I am. Don't be angry anymore. When you're happy, I'm happy. What's the point in being angry? I have never crossed the line with anyone. And if it seemed like I did, then the timing was just wrong. So are you saying I'm the one who's wrong?" As she berated him, Qing Xiu looked dejected. "Looks like I have to resort to my old trick. I was going to save this for her birthday, but right now, making her happy is more important." With that, he took out a ring and presented it to her. "My dear, look here. What do you think this is? I don't need it. I don't want it." Xiaoya said that, but her eyes still darted toward it. When she saw the brilliant green ring in Qing Xiu's hand, she was stunned, her face flushing red. "That's a storage ring. They're incredibly expensive. And this one is so exquisitely crafted. It must be worth a fortune." She pointed and asked, "Where did you get this?" Qing Xiu placed a finger to his lips, smiling mysteriously. "That's a secret." Xiaoya closed her eyes, a hand on her chest. Her thoughts raced. I've always dreamed of having a storage ring, one filled with clothes and weapons. But if I just accept this, isn't that being too greedy? She turned her face away, changing the subject. I'm not greedy. But why are you giving me a gift now? You didn't even remember my last birthday. Then from now on, I'll give you a gift every single year. Hearing this, Xiaoyu glanced at him, her eyes wide with surprise. You remember my birthday? You're such a jerk. Of course I remember. July 4th, the year 200. Hearing this, Xiaoyu's heart filled with joy. She rushed over to Qin Xiao, calling his name softly. You really remember? Come on, don't be mad at me anymore, okay? As he spoke, she lowered her head, her expression filled with sorrow. I'm not blaming you. If I'm mad, it's not at you. Then what's wrong? Suya trembled slightly, her eyes welling up with tears. Her heart ached with jealousy and pain. Qin Xiao was taken aback. His eyes widened, and a bead of sweat trickled down his face. Are you really jealous? Suya hugged her knees tightly, curling into herself. Yes, I'm jealous. Her gaze fell. The boy I grew up with has been stolen away. That bond we had is gone. Back then, you didn't even have proper clothes to wear. You look so pitiful. So I work hard to learn how to sew clothes for you. I can't even count how many times I pricked my fingers with a needle. You were such a picky eater, always skipping meals. To get you to eat, I learned how to cook. I burned my hands so many times. Cut myself with a knife, too. I still remember all your favorite foods. You love meat. You like green vegetable congee in the morning. You hate carrots, celery, and purple yams. And you especially hate pepper. As she recounted these memories, tears streamed down Suya's face. Besides me, there's probably no one else who knows you so well. But what's the point? In the end, you belong to someone else. What can I even do? I want to be with you forever, but I'm afraid that if I get angry and turn away, you won't come after me anymore. At this, she looked up, choking back tears. I never meant to target Hanyu. I was just so scared that you'd be stolen away and forget all about me. I'm just a small-town girl. How can I possibly compare to the beautiful women from the great sex? You're bullying me. The moment she finished speaking, Qin Xiao moved closer, gently wiping away her tears. What are you thinking? In my eyes, you're the cutest girl there is. How can I not care about you? Stop thinking such nonsense. You're truly the one I adore the most. Hearing this, Suya suddenly pulled away from his embrace. I'm not the cute one. The one you're infatuated with is Hanyu. Seeing her flustered expression, Qin Xiao couldn't help but chuckle. When I say it's you, not Hanyu. With that, Qin Xiao took a firm hold of her wrist, lifting it gently. It's you, my sweet little girl, the fairy of my heart. Hearing this, Suya's eyes widened, utterly speechless. Then, Qin Xiao sat down beside her and asked, Happy now? Suya turned her face away, replying curtly, It's whatever. Qin Xiao immediately pulled her back, wrapping one arm around her waist and using the other to lift her chin. So, can I call you that from now on? No, don't let anyone hear you. It's embarrassing. Qin Xiao leaned in close to her ear and whispered, Then I'll just say it in secret. Like we're sharing a little secret. No one else will know. What? Secretly? Suya blushed. I'm pushing you away. I'm not doing anything naughty with you. Don't tempt me. So, are we doing this or not? Suya shyly covered her face with her hands. All right, let's do it. We'll keep it our little secret from now on. With that, she stared intently at Qin Xiao. Shen Yuan, that scoundrel. How many more girls will he charm later? Probably not many. Hearing this, Suya crossed her arms and indignantly looked up, a pout on her face. Well then, I'll just have to get even stronger. If you ever betray me, I'll come find you. All right. You can beat me as hard as you want then. Suya put a hand to her chest, her face bright red. I don't think I could ever bring myself to hit you. Then she closed her eyes and smiled. I'll just take over your room, take all your things, and leave you with nothing. That way, you'll have no choice but to follow me. Okay. My darling, whatever you say, I'll listen. Suya burst into a radiant laugh. Of course. After some playful banter, Suya suddenly noticed the ring in her hand. She held it up, her eyes full of anticipation. What's inside? The ring glowed, revealing a box filled with adorable little gifts, surprising her and making her blush. She showed it to Qin Xiao, a bright smile on her face. I love you so much. If you love me, then kiss me. Suya immediately covered her mouth, bursting into laughter. You'll have to earn it. My first kiss isn't given away that easily, you know? How about a song then? As soon as he said that, she stood up and walked away immediately. Not in this lifetime. Qin Xiu, still sitting on the bed, called out after her. So why is my little darling still stuck in the qi refinement stage? Have you had a breakthrough recently? After hearing that, Suya lowered her head and sighed. I don't know either. It always feels like something's missing. Always missing something. I get ready, but then I just fall short. It's all your fault for giving me the Quan Tsang Ju. My spiritual energy just won't circulate properly. If your spiritual energy is already replenishing itself, it means you've already stepped into the Quan Tsang Ju. If not, then tonight, I'll help you break through. Consider my way of making it up to you. Breakthrough? How? Qin Xiu raised a hand and grinned. It's simple. You could just absorb me. The moment Suya heard that, she immediately imagined an awkward scene. Her face burned. Absorb you? What are you talking about? I'm not doing that, she said, turning her face away. Her cheeks flushed bright red. Don't you dare think dirty thoughts. Besides, there are 2 senior sisters around. It wouldn't be good if they heard. I didn't do anything. You're clearly the one with your mind in the gutter. I even suspect you're in heat. Embarrassed and furious, Suya spun around and snapped. I'm not. Don't you dare tease me. Qin Xiu raised a hand, forcing a smile. All right. Stop making such a fuss. I just want to transfer spiritual energy to help you. Hearing this, Suya came closer and sat on the bed. Spiritual energy can be transferred. This will be difficult for others. But for me, it's simple. Turn around. As he asked, Z turned her back. She slipped off her outer robe. All right, let's begin. Qin Xiu placed his hand on her back, channeling his spiritual energy into her. In an instant, the energy surged through her entire body. Beads of sweat began to form on her skin. Qin Xiu's expression was focused. He thought to himself, not bad. This is going very smoothly. As the spiritual energy coursed through her, Zia suddenly began to let out flustered moans. A little more. Faster. Don't stop. I want more. Hearing this, Qin Xiu was completely stunned. He froze, at a total loss for words. I can't take it anymore. With a final cry, she collapsed onto the bed, panting heavily. Zia's eyes were closed. Her cheeks flushed a deep red. A faint smile played on her lips. As she lay nestled against the pillow, Qin Xiu sat beside her, watching her intently. A short while later, Qin Xiu stepped outside. He closed his eyes and let out a long sigh. The heavenly nether spirit body, of course. It's incredibly difficult to satisfy. Just the power radiating from Zia is enough to make me tremble. Phew, it's been a long time since I've felt this exhausted. Just then, Yin Yin opened her window and called out to him, startling Qin Xiu. Qin Xiu, is everything all right? Qin Xiu lowered his head slightly, replying wearily, don't worry. Everything's fine. You don't need to worry, senior sister. You should get some rest. Okay. Well then, I'm going to my room to sleep. With that, Qin Xiu headed straight for the second floor of the courtyard house. He stopped in front of Yuan Ji's door and knocked gently. Yuan Ji opened it. She was wearing a red silk nightgown, her face covered with a cucumber mask. She peered out. What are you doing here at this hour? At her question, Qin Xiu scratched his cheek. I saw that you were upset, senior sister, so I came to talk. May I come in? Yuan Ji turned and walked back inside, her voice low. I'm surprised you still think about me. It's nice to know. Qin Xiu followed her in, his gaze sweeping across the room. This is my first time in my senior sister's private quarters. Yuan Ji sat down in a chair, picking up a bottle of nail polish. So, are you done comforting little Zia? All done. Yuan Ji shot him a sidelong glance, replying coolly, is that so? Qin Xiu sat down beside her, asking playfully, with me spending so much time with Zia, is my eldest senior sister feeling a little lonely? No, of course not. I'm just your senior sister, after all. She looked down, a flicker of sadness in her eyes. Your relationships with other women have nothing to do with me. Qin Xiu quickly waved his hands. Senior sister, don't say that. We've always been close. You even used to brush my hair for me. She's making breakfast, still wearing the hairpin and the beautiful dress from that day. Yuan Ji turns around and continues painting her nails. I thought you had forgotten. How could I ever forget? A lifetime wouldn't be long enough to remember it. Qin Xiu strikes a handsome pose. Senior sister, don't be angry anymore. I came to admit I was wrong. Please, give me another chance. Since you're begging like this, how can I not forgive you? Yuan Ji closes her eyes and sighs. Who taught you to put on such a pitiful act? Then, she suddenly pulls Qin Xiu closer, placing her foot on his lap, startling him. He breaks out in a sweat. Pay my nails for me. If you do a good job, I'll consider forgiving you. She says. Qin Xiu doesn't dare to disobey. He immediately picks up the nail polish brush, meticulously giving Yuan Ji a beautiful manicure. This feels more like a reward than a punishment. Suddenly, his hand slips. He exclaims in a panic. I'm sorry, senior sister. I spilled some polish on your foot. Let me wipe it off. With that, he gently lifts her foot. His cheeks flush red with embarrassment. This feeling, it's so familiar. The thought makes Yuan Ji cover her mouth. She turns away slightly and asks, by the way, why was Hanyu looking for you? She can't be up to any good. Qin Xiu pauses for a moment. Well, we're a man and a woman all alone right now, he thinks to himself. But he just smiles lightly and replies, Senior sister, you're overthinking it. Honestly, she just wanted to team up for a hunting mission. Hearing this, Yuan Ji whips her head back around, her gaze sharp and piercing. A hunting mission? Why would she pick you? Explain yourself. Clearly. Qin Xiu smiles. Raising his hands, he explains. She said our spiritual roots are compatible, and she wanted to practice a technique together, basically to level up. And so, Hanyu is the sect master's favorite disciple. You really don't know a good thing when you see it. Yuan Ji crosses her arms. Pouting, Qin Xiu lets out a laugh. I already turned her down. I only want to train with my eldest senior sister. Right? Yuan Ji softens a bit. If it were for dual cultivation, you'd pick Xiaoyu first. When would it ever be my turn? Dual cultivation isn't all that great. Training alone with me is way more effective. Besides, we could even have a threesome. It'd be much more hands-on. Trying to take advantage of me again, are you? In your dreams. Senior sister, you see right through me. You're so sharp. Don't think a few compliments will make me forget that I'm angry. I'm still mad. Qin Xiu's eyes widen. He asks seriously, then what will it take for you to not be angry anymore, senior sister? Do you have any wishes? I'll do whatever it takes to grant them. Yuan Ji looks down, her expression turning somber. Let me think. I don't have one big wish, but I do have a few dreams. Qin Xiu give a relaxed smile. Go on, senior sister. I'm listening. All right then. Even if you can't make them happen, at least someone will have heard them. First, I want to pass the assessment. Hearing this, Qin Xiu freezes. A bead of sweat rolls down his cheek. What assessment? Every year, the sect evaluates the contributions of each peak. Even though Qin Yu Peak has so few people, we still have to submit our full share of resources. Just me, Yin Yun, and Master. There aren't even 3 of us. How could we possibly compete? That's why we fail every single year. We do even worse than the other minor peaks. We're the weakest peak, so everyone looks down on us. It's so humiliating. And this year, the Merchant Guild ran into some trouble. Yin Yun already submitted all the pills we had saved up from last year. I'm afraid we're completely stuck this time. Hearing this, Qin Xiu puffed out his chest and declared, don't be so sure. This year, you've got me and senior sister Yin Yun working together. Wei Ji just bowed her head slightly, hugging her knees to her chest. She sighed. It's not that I don't trust you. It's just that the deadline is so tight. We have to submit the pills in 5 days. Starting from scratch is just too hard. Qin Xiu clenched his fist. He said firmly, don't worry, senior sister. This year, we absolutely will not be eliminated. In fact, we'll exceed all expectations. Senior sister, do you trust me? Hearing that, Wei Ji glanced at him. She remembered what happened back in Luolang City. He's done the impossible before. This is just an assessment. It's way easier than the alchemy convention. There's no reason not to trust him. With that thought, she linked pinkies with Qin Xiu. A small smile appeared on her face. I trust you. Qin Xiu's eyes lit up as he asked. So, are there any other wishes you have? Actually, I want to get my name on the Kanglan region's fairy rankings. Qin Xiu was stunned. Besides the prodigy rankings and the alchemy rankings, there's a ranking for that too? The fairy rankings? Isn't that just a silly game the disciples made up for fun? They have something like that in a major region like this? Of course, there's even a 5 beauties ranking. These lists were created by the major sects to celebrate beauty. Anyone who makes the list receives a prize. Which reward are you aiming for, senior sister? The Sushui pill. It's a type of pill that can improve your physique and enhance your figure. It's highly sought after by female cultivators. Even though it's not a particularly high-grade pill, it's completely monopolized by the Lingwu Palace. It's almost impossible to get one. Qin Qiu heard her out and rubbed his chin. He gave a sly grin. Your figure is already perfect, senior sister. What do you need a Sushui pill for? Oh, I almost forgot. You used to complain about your chest. Being a little modest, wasn't it? Wei Ji's face turned beet red. She crossed her arms and shot back. My appearance is perfectly fine. I don't need to worry about that. It's just that my cultivation is too weak. If I had talent like Hanyu, I wouldn't have this problem. But I only have a single water spiritual root. No one thinks much of it. Oh, so that's why. But raising your cultivation isn't hard. I can help with that. Wei Ji closed her eyes. She let out a long sigh. Junior brother, cultivation isn't like alchemy. You can't just improve it whenever you want. Qin Qiu grinned mischievously. He pointed at himself. If I can't even get you onto a ranking like that, wouldn't I be a disgrace to my ancestors? Raising your cultivation is easy. Senior sister, do you want to suck me? Suck you? For what? The moment the words left her lips, an image of an R-rated book cover flashed through Wei Ji's mind. The kind of stuff not meant for anyone under 18. At that thought, she clenched her fists in frustration. She opened her mouth and screamed right in Qin Qiu's face. What the hell are you talking about? And right after you finish dealing with Xiaoya, too. And what's left is still a lot. This is more than enough. Yuan Ji shot him a sidelong glance. Her expression heavy. No wonder you waited so long to come find me. Turns out you were busy fooling around with that little sister of yours. But you don't have any strange sense on you. As she was lost in thought, Qin Qiu suddenly approached. His hand touched her knee, startling her. Junior brother, you can't be so reckless about this. Don't mess around. Yuan Ji's pupils constricted. She squeezed her eyes shut. Her cheeks burning hot. I can't, she thought. I can't. I have a fallen god curse on me. If this isn't handled carefully, both you and I will suffer dire consequences. Qin Qiu turned, placing his hands on Yuan Ji's shoulders. A wicked smile played on his lips. This isn't messing around. I just want to show you how much I care, senior sister. As he spoke, a powerful stream of spiritual energy surged from him, enveloping Yuan Ji's body. The energy slowly seeped into her bloodline, making her grimace, her cheeks flushing a deep red. Outside the chamber, just as dawn was breaking, a startled cry echoed, long and drawn out. Qin Qiu pushed the door open and stepped out, his whole body trembling. He could barely stand. Luckily, I found a place to refine the Phoenix Ambrosia elixir beforehand. Those two have a grudge and started fighting the moment they met. If I hadn't nourished my body ahead of time, I probably wouldn't have survived the night. Once their cultivation levels increase further, I'm afraid I won't be able to handle them. I need to keep refining elixirs. With that thought, Qin Qiu glanced over. He saw Yunyun sitting by the window. Little senior sister. Up all night? Still haven't gotten any sleep? Yunyun gazed outside. I couldn't sleep, she said. I couldn't sleep. You really are something else, little Qiu. Holding out against 2 women for that long. Truly amazing. Hearing this, Qin Qiu frowned and immediately shot back. Hey, little senior sister. Don't talk nonsense. I wasn't doing anything improper. After saying that, his eyes widened and he fell silent. He clutched his head and turned away. Then he remembered the important matter at hand. I heard the sect will be collecting resource tributes in a few days. I should try to refine some pills tomorrow, little senior sister. Time is tight, but you never know, a miracle could happen. You should get some rest, senior sister. Let's head to the refinery together, shall we? Qin Qiu smiled, his eyes crinkling. That's right. We'll have to pick a very quiet place for it. The moment he finished, Yunyun slammed the window shut. Good night, little Qiu, she called out. Good night, little Qiu. No, wait. Have a good morning. All right. Good night, senior sister. At midday, Suya set out a tray of refreshing dishes. Yuan Ji pushed a plate toward Qin Qiu. Junior brother, eat up. Suya also put more food in his bowl. You eat so much, but you're still so thin. It's worrying just to look at you. Qin Qiu held his bowl and chewed slowly. He thought to himself, Man, last night, I'm completely drained. I've got to eat a lot today to recover. Union glanced at him. TCH, what a beast. She mused to herself. He's really incredible. Little Chiu actually managed to make those two so obedient. As he ate, Qin Chiu could feel the hungry gazes of Little Ya and Yuanji fixed on him. Are they planning to suck me dry again? The young master was unnervingly still. He barely moved a muscle. Sweat broke out on his forehead. All he could do was keep shoveling rice in his mouth. I didn't dare say a word. And I didn't want it either. I just focused on eating. Just then, a frantic knocking echoed from outside, followed by a loud shout. Anyone home at Xingyu Peak? Weiji opened the door a crack and asked softly, "What is it, junior brother?" The sect assembly starts this afternoon. The heads of each peak need to be there early. This meeting is about allocating resources. The male disciple was about to leave, but turned back to add, "That's the gist of it. Please don't forget." And with that, the male disciple left. Yin Yin stood beside Yuanji, worry clouding her voice. What a pain. That dreaded assembly is here again. This is so frustrating. What are we going to do, Yuanji? Yin Yin looked up, her shoulders slumping in defeat. Every year, Qingyu Peak ends up at the bottom of the list and gets ridiculed. I really don't want to be humiliated again. It's not that bad. In previous years, the messenger was always dismissive. This year, his attitude seemed much better. And why is that? Hearing Qin Xiu speak, the two girls turned to him, their faces blank with confusion. The soul refining workshop. Even a sect deacon was sent to scrub the latrines because of it. Think about what that implies. A short while later, Qin Xiu and his group entered the sect's main hall. The annual contribution assembly was held to motivate the various peaks and prevent laziness. Each year, the sect collected resources from them. Those who did well were rewarded. Those who did poorly were punished. It was winner take all, and loser takes nothing. As they were walking, they came across two very pretty female disciples who waved and called out. Senior sister Luo, Yuanji stepped forward, smiling brightly. The junior sisters cried out in delight. Yuanji, you're here. Senior sister, it's been so long. We'll have to catch up later. The two female disciples looked at Yuanji with disappointment. We wanted to ask you to hang out a few days ago, but you weren't here. Have you been busy? Hearing this, Yuanji stroked her chin and answered seriously. I had a family matter to attend to. I had to go home for a visit. Standing behind them, Qin Xiu realized the two girls looked familiar. Ah, now I remember. With that thought, he quickly ducked behind Yuanji. The girls started whispering. Who's that guy hiding back there? Why is he being so shy? Is he from the amorous pavilion? Stop hiding. Come on out and let your senior sisters get a good look at you. Oh, I almost forgot. This is our new junior brother. Qin Xiu, come here. Let me introduce you. Qin Xiu stepped forward. He clasped his hands and bowed. His face as pale as a sheet. Greetings, senior sisters. My name is Yun Qin Xiu. If they recognize me, all hell is going to break loose. In the distance, a stir went through the crowd of disciples. Look, it's senior brother Qin Xiang, as expected of the sect master's direct disciple. His presence is on a whole other level. Indeed, and that's senior brother Su, from Fairy Han Yu's peak. Xiang Xin strode through the crowd, an arrogant look on his face. He thought to himself, junior sister Han Yuan just came out of seclusion. She's as proud and aloof as ever. I tried to talk to her, but she just gave me the cold shoulder. After all, she's the goddess of our sect. If she weren't so aloof, what would be the fun in winning her over? Oof. His eyes darken. He frowns. Lately, the rumor is she's been getting close to some new disciple. She even gave him cookies. Everyone knows Han Yu's cookies are off limits. One time, even our master accidentally ate one of her little bear cookies. And she immediately blew up. She ignored him for half a month. And now she's just giving them away to someone else? Just thinking about it pisses me off. I'm the direct disciple of a prestigious alchemist, and I'm losing to some no-name who just joined? He plots his next move. Up ahead, Xiang Xin spots two young men shouting in frustration. Look at that Su Yun Chenkyu. His luck with the ladies is insane. The guy's probably building a whole harem. It's so frustrating. Even the senior sister from Spirit Blossom Peak was almost swept off her feet. Hearing this, Xiang Xin turns to look at the man in question. Ah, so that's him. Su Yun Chenkyu. A female disciple in a purple robe speaks up. Hey there, you look really familiar. I feel like I've seen you somewhere before. Yeah, really familiar. I just can't quite place you. So handsome. Have we met before? No, I don't believe so. Qingxiu is momentarily flustered. He glances over at Wanji. She just stands there calmly with her arms crossed. My senior sister isn't going to help me out. Looks like I'm on my own. With that thought, he clasps his hands and says in a serious tone, to be told I have a familiar face by such beautiful ladies is an honor in itself. I suppose my face is just one of those common ones. Unlike you, senior sisters, each of you is dazzlingly unique. Hearing his sweet words, the two girls smile. Hee hee. See, senior sister? This junior brother is such a smooth talker, calling us beauties right off the bat. I have to admit, it's nice to hear. Such a sweet mouth on him. Qingxiu then presents a jade box. He adds, I happen to know a little about alchemy. Since we hit it off so well upon meeting, please accept this small gift. Oh, could you be an alchemist? I only know how to make a few simple things. As their lively conversation continues, Xiang Xian steps forward. He rolls his eyes and remarks, well, it's certainly lively over here. The two female disciples quickly turn. They clasp their hands and bow. Greetings, senior brother Xiang. Wanji shoots Qingxiu a look. She whispers, junior brother, you're quite the ladies' man, aren't you? It looks like Han Yu's senior brother is here to make trouble. As soon as she finishes speaking, Xiang Xian is standing right in front of Qingxiu. He raises a hand and sneers. I heard you're an alchemist? Qingxiu replies directly. I just dabble for fun. I wouldn't dare call myself one. Xiang Xian is Han Yu's senior brother. They say he's young and incredibly talented. He holds a high position. Xiang Xian glares at him, his expression filled with contempt. TCH. He doesn't even dare to claim the title of alchemist. He probably only knows a few basic formulas. And yet he has the gall to show off in front of female cultivators. You barely even smell of herbs. Your hair's a mess. A guy like this could never make it on a grand stage. Finishing his thought, he spreads his hands, his eyes half closed. What a shame. I was hoping to exchange some techniques. But let's wait until you've practiced a bit more. We could talk once you at least understand the basics. That should make it clear. My status and alchemy cultivation completely crush his. He'll know his place and stay away from Hanyu. He's so full of himself. He sweeps his hair back, striking a pose. I'm off to the alchemy convention in the Luoling domain. Your skills aren't up to par, so it wouldn't be right to bring you along. My technique is solid. The championship is as good as mine. This is my chance to make a name for myself. Hearing this, Yin Qingxiu's expression darkens. I see, he thinks. I get it now. This guy is just a sycophant. He couldn't win over Hanyu, so now he's taking his frustration out on me. At that moment, Qin Xiang was still completely unaware that the last convention had been completely upended by Yun Qingxiu, turning the whole event into utter chaos. Nothing like it had ever happened in all the years it had been held. The messy outcome left the audience and sponsors deeply dissatisfied. It took an entire month to redo everything. This time, they only announced the rankings from second place down. Unfortunately, many talented individuals were overshadowed by Yun Qingxiu. They grew disillusioned with alchemy, and the atmosphere became much duller. In order to scout talent from Muzhou Prefecture, Luolang City deliberately concealed the champion's name and postponed the event. And so, this so-called genius, Qin, remained completely in the dark. Qin Xiang takes out a jade box and hands it to the two female disciples. I should get going now. I plan to take my time on this trip, enjoy the scenery. Just a leisurely stroll. Once I arrive, the championship will naturally fall into my hands. Here, some beauty-enhancing pills. It's nothing. Take them and use them well. Thank you, senior brother. Then, he glances over at Yun Qingxiu, a mocking smirk on his face. Sorry, none for you, junior brother. See that? Even a little something I give away, casually, is enough to put others in their place. Don't even dream of competing with me. Standing behind him, Yun Qingxiu simply smirks at his words. Unfortunately, Qin Xiang doesn't see it. Well then, let's see senior brother Qin off. We wish you a triumphant return. Bring honor to Muzhou Prefecture. Watching his retreating back, Yuan smiles to herself. He's probably going to burst into tears the second he gets to Luolang and hears the news. Once word gets back to the sect, Senior brother Chin will be utterly crushed by this bottom-ranking junior brother. Our junior brother really is a little troublemaker. But that just makes things more interesting. The girl in the purple robe looks worried. It looks like senior brother Chin is targeting junior brother Yin, using his high status to bully a newcomer. That's so obnoxious. The other girl chimes in. He doesn't normally give away pills so easily. He only did it today because he saw junior brother Yin give us a gift. He's clearly just trying to bully him. Yuan just covers her mouth, stifling a laugh. How interesting. A senior brother like that just gets on the girls' nerves, making them all side with the junior brother. He's clearly the one being provoked, and yet everyone is rushing to defend our junior brother. I can't wait to see his reaction when the news spreads. As she's thinking, the girl in the blue robe speaks up. Senior sister Luo, your junior brother is being bullied, and you're just standing there laughing? Don't be afraid, junior brother Qingqiu. We'll protect you. That's right. How could we let such an adorable junior brother get pushed around? Hearing this, Yuan closes her eyes and puts a hand to her head. I'm not the one causing trouble. So why are you all taking it out on me? That guy isn't one to suffer a loss for nothing. Just wait and see what happens. The girl in blue opens the jade box. Her eyes go wide with astonishment. It's an ice bone beauty powder. Yin Qingqiu glances at the pill. Then he looks away, a smile on his face. I didn't expect that senior brother to be so generous. Ice bone beauty powder. It nourishes the skin and enhances one's looks. It's not cheap. It's considered a high-end product in the cultivation world. The girl in purple stands beside her, holding the jade box Yin Qingqiu gave her. She glances at him and thinks to herself, junior brother Yin just joined the sect. He probably doesn't have anything valuable. It would be awkward to open it right here in front of him. With that thought, she secretly cracks open the lid. Instantly, a rich, potent medicinal fragrance bursts forth, filling the air. When she sees the 2 pills inside, the girl's eyes go wide. Her jaw drops. Unbelievable. Are these youth elixirs? The girl in green turns sharply at the sound, her eyes glued to the 2 pills. Youth elixirs moisturize and protect the skin long-term, prolonging youth. Their effects far surpass even Frost Bloom facial powder, and they're incredibly expensive. How could junior disciples like us ever dream of them? Grade 2 elixirs truly are on another level. Junior brother Yin, you call this just casually refining pills? If you actually got serious, what heights would you reach? With that, the girl in green rushed over and hugged Yin Qingqiu's arm. Junior brother Yin, you're amazing. Can we get a little closer? The girl in purple also stepped forward, firmly grasping his hand. The 2 of them pulling him back and forth made him a bit flustered. Please come to our peak sometime. We'll take care of all the medicinal ingredients, and we'll even give you a discount on the costs. Oh, please, young alchemist brother. The girl in green widened her eyes. Her cheeks flushed. I think he looks a little like my ex-boyfriend. Yin Qingqiu heard this and chuckled inwardly, pleased. Alchemists truly are highly respected. Even with just decent skill, girls will eagerly approach you. While he was lost in thought, Yuchi stepped forward, arms spread, blocking them with a stern expression. Refining pills is fine, but keep your hands off him. Junior brother is mine. The 2 girls exchanged a silent smile, without another word. Meanwhile, elsewhere, seeing Elder Kongu approaching from a distance, the disciples quickly dispersed. Looking utterly awkward, Elder Kongu's face was grim. He muttered, ever since Yin Qingqiu joined the sect, troubles have piled up one after another. The core disciples are being pushed, making progress. The incompetent ones have been assigned to clean latrines. As a master, it's truly hard to stay calm. But I cannot stoop so low as to go looking for some troublemaking disciple. Just thinking about it fills me with shame. Even so, I will not let Qingyu Peak's grievance go unsettled. Elder Kongu clasped his hands behind his back and spoke in a clear, resonant voice. Junior brother Kongu, your peak has many disciples. It's the largest peak outside of the 4 great peaks. How many elixirs have you prepared for submission this time? Don't worry, senior brother. Ever since your beloved disciple lent a hand, our efficiency has greatly increased. We've currently accumulated over 1,000 pills. It's not a huge number, but it should be enough. Hearing this, Kongu remained serene for a moment. Perhaps we can rank 3rd among the major peaks. If we maintain this momentum, it'll be our 5th consecutive year in 3rd place. Kongu stood behind, clasping his hands. Looking up, senior brother, is there hope? With achievements like this, surely the sect master and grand elder will take notice. Rules are rules. I don't believe the sect master will simply turn a blind eye. As for that woman, Quan Ji, she's too foolish to not return to the sect at such a crucial moment. Hearing this, Konyu gave a slight, knowing smile. Her not returning is a good thing. It's the perfect opportunity to seize Qingyu Peak. Such a large peak, wasted on a few disciples. What a terrible waste. At the same time, in the main sect hall, Sect Master Kong Yin spoke from the platform to the assembled disciples. Time is short. Everyone, maintain your spirits. The rules are the same as every year. No need for a long speech. Those who contribute much will be rewarded by the sect. Those who fall short will be punished. This year's rewards are more generous. The Grand Elder himself will announce them on the tablet. Yin Qingqiu listened, then stroked his chin. So that's how it is. A triple grade elixir is even included. The rewards look promising. It seems Junior Brother is quite confident, already thinking about the rewards. Yin Qingqiu crossed his arms, his gaze fixed forward. You sure have a silver tongue. If you won't listen to reason, maybe you'll respond to punishment. Senior sister, don't you trust me? I'm a champion of the alchemy tournament, after all. Wei glanced over her shoulder and replied lightly. Of course I do. Why wouldn't I? I'm just so surprised by how popular you are. How did it feel being surrounded by a circle of female cultivators? Were you on cloud nine? He flinched. She turned to face him fully. Hands on her hips. Her expression sharpened. I don't think I quite heard you. Say that again. It was nice, I guess, but it's nothing compared to a loving look from you, senior sister. Qingqiu replied, scratching his cheek. A bead of sweat trickled down his forehead. The moment he finished speaking, Wei moved over and sat, right, on Qingqiu's lap. Come to think of it, last night's treatment was pretty effective. Come find me tonight. You can consider it your way of making it up to me. The Grand Elder spoke up. Sect Master, fellow elders, is there anything else to add? Just then, Xiongqiu raised his hand. Seeing this, the Sect Master asked, Junior Brother, is there something you wish to say to the disciples? Kongu stroked his beard. His eyes swept across the crowd. Slowly, he began to speak. This is no trivial matter. I have heard a few things recently, and I hope the Sect Master and the Grand Elder can offer some clarification. The Sect Master clasped his hands behind his back. He replied calmly, Please, Junior Brother, go ahead. I wish to know how the Su Sect's system of rewards and punishments is actually enforced. The Sect Master frowned. What are you implying, Junior Brother? Are the sacred laws of the Su Sect some kind of joke? Kongu closed his eyes. He let out a soft chuckle. I only need the Sect Master's confirmation. That will be enough. I would never dare to be disrespectful. I only wish to point one thing out. This year's rewards have a special provision. I do hope everyone is properly prepared. Special in what way? Kongu gestured with open arms toward the disciples. According to the sect's regulations, if one of the 4 great peaks ranks last in contributions for 5 consecutive years, it must exchange territories with the peak that has the best performance record. And Qingyu Peak has now been at the bottom for 5 full years. Meanwhile, Mulin Peak has consistently held 3rd place for all 5 of those years. If this rule is not properly enforced, I fear the other peaks will lose faith. The Grand Elder, standing behind him, glanced at the Sect Master. He thought to himself, the 4 great peaks are meant to set an example for all. This rule was meant to be a powerful deterrent, but it's never actually been used before. If Kong Gu hadn't brought it up, I would have almost forgotten it existed. Standing below the platform, Wan listened with growing anxiety. This is not good. How did things turn out like this? Those old coots are finding new ways to make trouble for us. Yuan Qi placed a hand on his chest. He looked up at the stage with a wary gaze. Junior Brother, you probably don't know about the history between our master and Kongu. I heard from little senior sister. Disciples from his Qiyin Peak have come to harass us on multiple occasions. It seems they're using this issue with the resource contributions as an excuse to make a scene. Wan turned to Qingqiu. She spoke in a low voice. Junior Brother, what do you think the real reason behind all this is? If I had to guess, I'd say it's all about the land. Hearing Qingqiu's answer, Wei simply smiled. You really are sharp, Junior Brother. No wonder you're the one I've got my eye on. So smart and so capable. This entire celestial mountain is made up of numerous peaks. Among them, the 3 ranges closest to the main Yinshi Peak have the densest concentration of spiritual energy. They're the most suitable for cultivation. These are known as the four great peaks. All the other peaks are considered lesser peaks. They can't even compare in terms of spiritual energy or size. Qingyu Peak only has a handful of us. It's only natural that the other peaks would be jealous of our territory. That council elder wants to help Konggu take over Qingyu Peak. Every year, they use the contribution issue to squeeze us, making our already weak peak even weaker. At the same time, he's been propping up Mulin Peak, helping them build a consistent record. His ambition to seize our territory couldn't be more obvious. If that's the case, couldn't Qingyu Peak solve the problem by simply recruiting more people? Even with Master gone, we could still ask a steward or elder to oversee things temporarily, so we don't seem disadvantaged. Junior brother, you might not be aware, but my master isn't originally from the core Kui Yuan sword lineage. She was an outsider to the sect. A few years back, the sect suffered a major upheaval. My master intervened to help and suffered heavy losses herself. For her contributions, she was appointed the fourth elder and given Qingyu Peak to manage, almost like it was a place for recuperation. She appears carefree, but she's wary at heart. She even refused to take on disciples. Muyin and I were accepted because we caught her eye. But as for you, junior brother, you were forced upon her, which made Master unhappy. This happens every year. They even joke that Master eventually sends all those disciples away. Hearing this, Qing Qiu's face fell. I thought I was once an immortal venerate. Now I'm being treated so shabbily. I've been messed around for half a day, and there's no guarantee I'll even be accepted. Wei placed a hand on her chest. She glanced at Qing Qiu, looking concerned. Don't worry, junior brother. With your alchemy skills, Master won't send you away. I'll put in a good word for you too. The most concerning thing right now is the lack of offerings. If the merchant guild has enough capital, I'll try to borrow some from them. After saying that, Wei simply lowered her head, her eyes heavy with concern. Pill refining has a pretty high failure rate. Even first and second grade alchemists can't guarantee a successful first grade pill every time. The costs just keep piling up. If a single batch fails, the money for the medicinal ingredients is completely wasted. After a bit more conversation, Qing Qiu extended his pinky finger, smiling brightly. Don't worry, senior sister. I've already taken care of this matter last night. I'll handle it. It'll be fine. I hope so. Qing Qiu stroked his chin, a mischievous look on his face. So if you're free, senior sister, could I get a small perk? Like letting me look at your feet for a moment? Upon hearing that, Wei shot him a proud glance. Fine. In return, let me drain you a little. Hearing that, Qing Qiu broke out in a cold sweat. He sat up ramrod straight, not daring to utter a single word. This is a serious matter. Best to sit still. On the main platform, Konggu spread his hands, looking exasperated, a grim expression on his face. Quan Ji once helped the sect, and the sect didn't treat her poorly either. Yet for years, she's completely neglected her duties, showing no concern whatsoever. If this continues, other peaks will start to imitate her. I asked the sect master to reconsider. Hearing this, Kong Yin fell in a deep thought. Konggu and Quan Ji have never seen eye to eye. He often targets Qingyu Peak. Quan Ji's freedom has never been restricted. It's not an issue that she doesn't take disciples. Other elders might be annoyed, but there are ways to compensate. The crux of the matter is the rules. These rules have been passed down for 1,000 years. Any main peak that ranks last in offerings for 5 consecutive years must undergo changes. Could I really make an exception during my time? As he pondered, Konggu had already moved to stand with the disciples below. Bowing respectfully, Quan Ji only has a few disciples. I request they be transferred to a minor peak. That should be sufficient. I hope the sect master will grant my request. We, the disciples, wholeheartedly implore you. Upon hearing this, sect master Kong Yin turned to the other elders to discuss. Konggu's suggestion does have some merit. What do you all think? The grand elder remained silent, simply lost in thought. Junior brother Kong Gu came well prepared. His arguments are clear. It's hard to refute. The sect master finally spoke. Then, let's proceed with Kong Gu's proposal. If Qingyu Peak comes in last again, they will be punished according to sect regulations. The sect leader is as decisive as ever. He got his wish. Kong Gu's lips twisted into a devious smile. Quan Ji is an outsider. Once she's demoted to a lesser peak, her status will plummet. It won't be difficult to drive her away then. A moment later, the great elder came forward, holding the list. He allowed a soft sigh. Next, the representative disciples from each peak will come forward to receive their rewards. The disciples stepped onto the platform one by one. Hearing this, one glanced over. Her expression was filled with anxiety. I bet we'll be reprimanded and punished again this year. One was just about to step forward, when Qing Qiu grabbed her hand, stopping her. Senior sister, let me go up this year. You just wait down here. But I'm supposed to. I'm thick-skinned. I don't mind being ridiculed. It would be a real shame for a beauty like you to get chewed out. That would be a true loss to the cultivation world. Hearing this, one laughed. You're such a smooth talker, junior brother. All right, I'll leave it to you then. I'll reward you when we get back. Qing Qiu's face lit up. His eyes crinkled like he'd just struck gold. A reward? Can I choose it? I want to see you in a dress with a high slit, showing a little leg. Hey now, don't get carried away. However, she put a hand to her chin. It's not entirely impossible. If you were to marry me, I wouldn't mind you seeing me with nothing on at all. I just wonder if you'd have the guts. Senior sister has such a killer body. No matter what she wears, it makes a man want to sin. It'd be great to just carry her home. But the problem is, my light spirit chi gets depleted easily. If I try anything and mess up, it'll be a disaster. And then there's the matter of wifely seniority. According to custom, Xiaoya is the main wife. It'll be trouble if she doesn't agree. This needs careful consideration. I need to nourish my body and build up my strength. Can't put it off. Just then, Wan gave Qing Qiu a gentle push from behind, urging him forward. Then she waved, her face bright. Stop daydreaming, junior brother. Go on now. And so, Qing Qiu went up on the platform with the other disciples. They stood before the sect leader. He happened to be standing right next to Wei Qing. The moment she saw him, she immediately scowled. Annoyed. She looks familiar. Who is she, anyway? Oh, right. Ruan Qingxing. She was the one who drugged and harassed us that time, and ended up getting tied to a tree branch and beaten. Looks like she still holds a pretty big grudge against me. Isn't she from Qi Yan Peak? Why is she representing Mu Lin Peak now? My senior sister said. She's an alchemist. She must be here to help Mu Lin Peak increase their contribution points. TSK. Those two old geezers, Konggu and Kongyu, are really in cahoots. Konggu stood tall, list in hand. His gaze swept over the line of disciples. His voice rang out. You sure? Your peak has been exemplary for several years. As one of the four great peaks, you must strive to do even better. Set an example for the entire sect. Baomia, your peak performed poorly last year. This year is even worse. You will be punished. As for Qing Yu Peak, his voice trailed off. The old man's gaze fell on Qing Qiu. Konggu immediately frowned. His voice was sharp. You're just a new disciple. How dare you represent Qing Yu Peak? Get down from here. Qing Qiu stepped forward. Without hesitation, he faced Konggu. His voice was calm. And why not? Why not? Do you think you're the master of Qing Yu Peak now? Do you really think the other disciples will listen to you? Konggu snarled. Qing Qiu tapped a finger to his cheek. He replied defiantly. Senior sister Luo's future child will take my surname, Yin. Now, tell me, do you think they'll listen to me? Konggu and the two disciples beside him stared, their eyes wide. Cold sweat dripped down their faces. Konggu was lost in thought for a moment. He mused. Come to think of it, he's the only male disciple on Qing Yu Peak. Did I completely miss the point? Down in the crowd, Quan Ji stood frozen. He listened to the murmurs rippling through the audience. Luo Wanji's future child will have the surname Yin? Does that mean she's going to marry Yin Qing Qiu? The surrounding disciples all turned to stare at Wanji. She flushed a deep red and quickly hid her face in her hands. That scoundrel junior brother. I was just trying to tease him a little, test the waters. I never imagined he'd just say it out loud in front of everyone. Junior brother is really so mischievous. But Qing Qiu's expression remained serious. He thought to himself, the Luo god curse on senior sister has been broken, and she now bears my spiritual seal. She can only be with me, and I will take full responsibility for her. It's not the right time to explain everything clearly, so I can only hint at it like this. Her affection and feelings for me must be protected. Besides, I've already made an enemy of the second elder. My harsh words have already shut him up. With Master away, as the representative of Qing Yu Peak, I cannot afford to show any weakness. In the stands below, two female disciples sitting next to Wanji began to tease her, making her blush even more. One of them said, "Senior sister Luo, lift your head. Your junior brother is so talented and handsome. It's so romantic. Why can't we ever meet someone like that?" Senior sister Luo, "I think I'm going to go confess to him." Hearing that, Wanji's head snapped up. Her voice was icy. "Who dares confess to my junior brother? I'll beat them to a pulp." Just then, a frustrated cry echoed from a pair of male disciples seated above. "How crude. Disgusting. Senior brother, I'm so over this." The two men held hands, whispering to each other. "Ugh, so many men. That junior brother is so brazen. Acting like that is absolutely shameless. I'll despise him for the rest of my life. But I have to admit, that junior brother is kind of cute." The other replied softly, "Senior brother, please stop talking. This is so embarrassing." On the main stage, an elder watched the scene and chuckled softly. He thought to himself, "How incredibly romantic. It awakens the maiden's heart within me."